Welcome to the inaugural season of Gresham Grey Wolves Baseball, presented by Active Family Chiropractic, Edward Jones, Gresham Ford, Gresham Pediatric Dentistry, the Gresham Police Officers Association, Lucky Pint, Metro East Web Academy, Northwest Accounting Partners, Olympic Gym, Riverview Community Bank, and State Farm. And now it's time for your Gresham Grey Wolves pregame show.
Hello and welcome into the Gresham Grey Wolves pregame show here at Osland Field. I'm Evan Giddings coming to you live on the campus of Mount Hood Community College before the rubber match of a three-game series between the Kitsap Blue Jackets and your Gresham Grey Wolves. And of course, the rubber match meaning that it is tied 1-1 currently in the series, with the Grey Wolves getting the win in Game 1 and Kitsap coming back last night to get the win in Game 2. Now, after that Tuesday victory that came in a pretty dominating fashion, 6-1 here as the Grey Wolves scored all 6 runs in the bottom of the second inning. It was another big second inning, however, from the Kitsap Blue Jackets in Game 2 of this series that ended up propelling them towards the second game victory. Now, Kitsap coming into the game 6-14, 14-33 overall on the West Coast League season, and with the Grey Wolves at right now 11-6 and a total of 21-21 and even 500 on the season. And they combined for 25 hits between the two, 17 runs total in a game that saw Gresham rally all the way back from multiple deficits, currently at 5. Like I mentioned, they got 5 in the second inning, did the Kitsap Blue Jackets last night. The girls ended up coming back and tying the game. However, Kitsap ended up taking a 3-run lead late in the ball game. The Grey Wolves again fought back and retied the game, but going into the top of the ninth, taking advantage of a misplay out in the field was Kitsap. They're able to score the go-ahead run, and unfortunately in the bottom of the ninth inning, the Grey Wolves could not respond and lost 9-8 in the second game of this series. Now, while the defense may not have been at its sharpest, the Grey Wolves offense certainly stepped up, and again throughout Wednesday evening, we saw Cardinale as well as Matheson, Mark Cardinale and Will Matheson, homer both in the loss. That marked a quarter of the home run totals of the season. What I mean by that is the fact that each of them had a home run, a total of 2. Now 8 total on the season for Gresham, and still unable to come up with a victory. That was disheartening, to say the least. Now, the second multi-home run game of the summer, as they had a couple of home runs off the bats of Nick Snyder, which actually was the very first home run of the season back in late June, as well as Jack Johnson in that ball game. Now, Kitsap reliever John F. Matros earned the win for the visiting side through 2 scoreless innings to end the ball game. In fact, also was set up for the win, set up for the save, but was going to get the win. And so now these two teams, we'll see them here in about 10 minutes from first pitch. About 7:05 is supposed to be the start time here at Osland Field, the home of the Saints and the home of your Grey Wolves in this inaugural season this summer. Now, in the overall play of his team last night, head coach Justin Marquez had these thoughts. Yeah, he said that they outplayed us yesterday, and he wants to credit the offense for staying in the game, getting some big hits, but they didn't do much right. He said that they outpitched us, out-hit us, and out-defended us too, and that's how it goes sometimes. Now, as for the Kitsap offense, they got it going in the second inning as the designated hitter Joey Galeno led off the inning with a double, and then with 1 out, Justin Bundy singled, put runners at the corners, and then Taylor Adams hit his first home run of the season. In fact, was selected as the beer batter last night for the Kitsap Blue Jackets and responded in kind, belting a opposite field right center home run that barely grazed the fence, ended up getting out. In fact, Taylor Adams didn't even think it was out, was looking around as he rounded second base to see where the ball was coming in, but of course a long ball that gave him the first 3 runs of the ball game. And then with 2 outs, they kind of restarted a rally there in that inning as Alec Cheney doubled out to left center field, and then an error from the glove of Will Matheson allowed Jack Stronach to reach, and that put runners at the corners as well. And then Daniel Lopez laced a double over the head of the left fielder last night, Adams. 2 RBIs as Alec Cheney and both Stronach scored. Lopez was thrown out at third to end the inning, however 5 total came in. The Grey Wolves got 1 back in the third as Connor Zickafoose reached on an error by the second baseman Lopez with 2 outs, advances second on the wild pitch, and then was singled in by Cardinale, one of his 4 RBIs to go along with his 4 hits. So then we fast forward to the 4th inning where Cardinelli got things going as well. Had a RBI single himself, but not before. At the beginning of the inning, Jeff Mitchell Jr. led things off with a single. Will Matheson hit his first home run of the season out to left center field. And then with one away, Jordan Barkis singled through the right side, followed by a Matt Cairo walk. And then Dylan Doherty, probably the most key play of the inning, hit a ground ball to the first baseman. Powles could not corral it, ended up loading the bases, to which Zicafus and Cardinelli both responded with singles. That drove in the last 2 runs, a total of 4 to come across that would tie the ball game. However, Kitsap struck back with 3 in the top of the 5th, so there was plenty of action here in the first half of last night's ball game. With 1 out, Jack Stronach singled, and Luke Stanfield singled, followed by a Joey Galeno base knock to load the bases. And at that point, with Justin Bundy coming to the plate, there were 2 outs. Spud Heidemann on the mound, and unfortunately he allowed a 2 RBI single to bring in the first 2 runs, and then reliever Carter Buku came in. Unfortunately, the first pitch he threw, a wild pitch that allowed the last runner, Galeno, to come in to score to make it 8-5 before eventually retiring Adams to get the Gray Wolves out of that inning. So 8-5 going into the bottom of the 6th inning, where Mark Cardinelli blasted a 3-run home run to score Dylan Doherty and Zicafus along with himself to tie up the ball game. Those were his 2nd, 3rd, and 4th RBIs of the evening. Just a stellar night for Cardinelli, who in fact actually had a great game in the 2nd game of the series as well up in Kitsap. A 4-for-4 performance with 2 triples and 4 RBIs himself. So plenty of love going around for Cardinelli in the 2nd game of these series here against the Blue Jackets. Unfortunately for the Gray Wolves, they were at a standstill through the 6th, 7th, and 8th innings, but it was the Blue Jackets that struck in the 9th. After a couple singles to lead off that inning from Stronach and Lopez, Luke Stanfield hit into a fielder's choice, followed by the designated hitter Joey Galeno in the most pivotal play of the game. Hit a ground ball to the first baseman, Will Matheson, with 2 outs. And unfortunately for the Gray Wolves, Will Matheson could not keep it in front of him, allowing a run to score. That was the go-ahead in the form of Daniel Lopez. And as I alluded to, J.F. Matros, who came in to close out the ball game, the last 2 innings ended up earning the win for the Kitsap Blue Jackets. But some other quotes from Jordan Barkis I found interesting. Now, with the winning run, the Kitsap go-ahead in the top of the 9th inning, was scoring a bang-bang play following an error at first base. That was actually a pivotal play as well. In the bottom of the 8th inning, the Gray Wolves had a chance, but unfortunately, they were unable to come across. As we'll pause for the national anthem here at Osland Field. We'll be right back with you with first pitch as well as lineups here after this on Gresham Gray Wolves Baseball Live. I'm Evan Giddings. Don't go anywhere.
Bum, ba-da-dum, da-da-dum. You are in a quest full of danger and excitement. Your path clouded by deception and dead ends that could cost you dearly. You have to fight off dangerous snakes and vicious jackals, savage headhunters and shark-infested waters. You don't know who to trust, and all you want is to buy a new car. I'm Bess Wills at Gresham Ford, and getting the car or truck you need doesn't have to be a dangerous adventure of epic proportions. At Gresham Ford, you won't find any snakes, weasels, or other predators, and you don't have to worry if you are going to get pillaged. All dealers pay the same for the cars they sell. We just help you get the new or used vehicle you need without all the drama. If you want an adventure full of shady characters, crooked deals, and nasty vermin, go to the movies. If you want to get the best built cars and trucks in America, come to Gresham Ford, where I'll donate $100 to the church or charity of your choice with every vehicle you purchase at Gresham Ford. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum.
Finding the right dentist for your young children can be challenging. At Gresham Pediatric Dentistry, we understand the importance of helping your child feel comfortable in the dental chair. Since 2007, Dr. Jiyoung Lee has helped many young patients in the Gresham area, and she can help your child too. Request your appointment today at GreshamPediatricDentistry.com. Live from Osland Field at Mount Hood Community College, this is Gresham Gray Wolves Baseball, presented by Active Family Chiropractic, Edward Jones, Gresham Ford, Gresham Pediatric Dentistry, the Gresham Police Officers Association, Lucky Pint, Metro East Web Academy, Northwest Accounting Partners, Olympic Gym, Riverview Community Bank, and State Farm. Gresham Grey Wolves baseball starts now.
Hello and welcome into another edition of Gresham Grey Wolves baseball. I'm Evan Giddings, coming to you here in Gresham, Oregon, on the campus of Mount Hood Community College at the always beautiful but sometimes hot Osland Field as the Grey Wolves get set to take on the Kitsap Blue Jackets in the rubber match here, the third game of the three-game series. Now the Blue Jackets currently coming into play 6-14 in the second half, 14-33 overall, and your Grey Wolves currently a half game back of the Yakima Valley Pippins in the second half of the South Division of the West Coast League. They are 11-6, 22-22 overall, and we'll be looking to retie the Pippins atop the South Division here tonight. They were able to claim the first place position, or claim a share of the first place position there in the first game of this series, getting a W 6-1. However, after falling in close fashion and a bit of a heartbreaking loss here, 9-8, ended up losing on a go-ahead run in the top of the ninth inning last night in the second game. So they'll look to avenge that loss here and the rubber match here today. As for your starting lineups here for the Kitsap Blue Jackets, it'll be the third baseman Jack Stronach leading off, Daniel Lopez, the second baseman, hitting second, Luke Stamfeld, the shortstop, batting third, followed by the designated hitter Joey Galeno batting fourth. Martin Powell is the first baseman, batting fifth. Batting sixth will be the right fielder Justin Bundy. Behind him in the 7-hole, it'll be the center fielder Taylor Adams, followed by the backstop and the 8-hole hitter here tonight, Benny Kalewahea, followed by the 9-man, rounding it out, the left fielder Elijah Collins. On the bump will be left-hander number 40 Jordan Knoll, making his first start of the season, although I've gotten word will likely not be going as many innings. He's going to be on a pitch count, so we'll see how that plays. As for the Gresham Grey Wolves, they will be led on and into battle by the right-hander Brett Ganaway from Columbia University as he is on the bump, beginning his warm-up pitches, just a couple of moments away from first pitch. In fact, might even get an exact 7:05 start here. Was a couple minutes late last night. Nonetheless, hoping to reaffirm that right here. So Stronach will step in to the box. We'll prepare to do the rubber match here as baseball's set to go. Defensively for the Grey Wolves, it'll be Mark Cardinale out in left, Josh Adams in center field, Jeffrey Mitchell Jr. in right, Jack Johnson at third base on the infield, shortstop being played by Dylan Doherty. Curtis Perrin will be at second base, and Drew Curtis over at first, with Ben Klenke in the squat tonight doing the catching, and of course Brett Ganaway on the mound. So Stronach is into the box. First pitch on the way here, and is a fastball high and outside. Ball one, and an exact 7:05 start time here at Osland Field. Beautiful day for baseball. A bit hot, upwards of around 90 degrees, feeling up around 92, as now Ganaway misses again outside here, 2-0 to the leadoff man Stronach. Was upwards of around near 100, I believe, coming up on I-5 down from the southern areas and around Salem, was about 98 coming up as Stronach now takes strike one here over the heart of the plate. But nonetheless, another beautiful day for baseball. 3 in a row here as a 2-1, now way outside there, 3-1. As Stronach last night had a decent ball game, couple of runs scored. One after coming around in the air by Matheson. A couple of base hits as well, as he now takes a fastball over the inside part of the plate, called strike two. Umpires this evening will be Tim Gerkman behind home plate, Jim Courtney out there in the field, as the Grey Wolves rocking their home whites. Now the payoff pitch on the way, popped up on the infield. Over is the shortstop Doherty, converging with Perrin, and now will yield to Doherty. He'll make the catch, and there's one away. So like I mentioned, the Grey Wolves rocking their home whites. The gold Grey Wolf across the chest, tapered in black, with the Grey Wolves insignia on the right shoulder. The white pants with the high socks. Just a couple of members wearing the stirrups. Of course, up the middle, with the middle infielder pair of Perrin and Doherty. As now Lopez gets the first look at Ganaway. Takes one high and tight, 1-0. Kitsap rocking their blues that they have been all series. It's got the big B for Blue Jackets in gold on the left part of the chest, tapered in white. Numbers on the back in blue, but outlined in gold. Of course, with the camo sleeves. Now Lopez swinging and drives one into center field. Playable there for Josh Adams, who will make the catch, and quickly 2 away here to begin the ball game. So Josh Adams getting the start in center field. We saw Curtis Perrin there last night, as we'll get you the Grey Wolves offense when they come to the plate in the home half here of the first. However, Ryan Smith, who was not playing center field last night, and I alluded to it a bit in our broadcast in the previous evening, Ryan Smith had played in all but one ball game, had started in all but two as he came off the bench in a couple of those ball games. In fact, at least last night we saw him in a pinch hit appearance as well. Was able to draw a walk, so he'll be back in the lineup in the DH spot. However, Josh Adams will be patrolling center field here tonight. So Luke Stanfield, now the shortstop, take a first pitch fastball right through the heart of the plate here, 0-1. As Ganaway so far this season, making his his sixth start as he now misses low here, 1-1. His seventh appearance in those 6 starts. Currently has a 3.29 earned run average, a 1-2 record. Got a lot of starts at the beginning of the season, then was kind of moved into the bullpen. As 1-1 on the way. Fastball right on the inside edge, 1-2. 27 in the third innings pitched. 19 strikeouts, just 4 walks. So Ganaway definitely a right-handed pitcher that can command the strike zone. Has allowed 30 hits. Now the 1-2 on the way. Big breaking ball, but runs upstairs high. The count is even at 2-2. Has been moved into the starting rotation to replace a couple of guys that sort of fell out for the Grey Wolves, along with right-handers Rylan Luchuk as well as David Wallum, as he now fires a fastball and it is tapped over to the left side. Going to get out of play foul, though. Count remains 2-2 strikes. So after being moved in the starting rotation, had a quality start in his last outing 5 days ago on July 23rd at Walla Walla. Unfortunately, got the loss in that game, but ended up going 6 1/3 with 3 earned runs, while also striking out 6 as he now fires this one in on the hands of Stamfeld, but again, fighting it off the facade of the dugout there over on the third base side of the Grey Wolves. Count remains. Has had a couple of appearances as well in non-league competition, also 1 start, as well as a save. That came against the Perth Heat on July 15th, as well as Thurston County on June 3rd. As now he gets a pop-up left side of the infield, drifting into foul territory. The third baseman Johnson, he'll settle under it and make the catch. So 3 up, 3 down for Ganaway here to begin the ball game, as we'll head to the home half of the first with the Grey Wolves coming to the plate. We'll get you their lineups when we come back here on Gresham Grey Wolves Live. No score after 1 half here. I'm Evan Giddings. We'll be right back with you after this.
It's a howlin' good time down at the Lucky Pint, where we have 30 rotating taps, happy hour all day on Sundays, fishbowl Fridays, or just come down and fill up a growler. The Lucky Pint is the home of Gresham Grey Wolves, where we honor service members with a 20% discount every Monday. Check us out on Facebook to see our latest cocktails and craft beer list, and then come in and see for yourself what all the excitement is all about. Located at 1888 Northwest Fairview Parkway in Gresham, your locally owned place for craft beer and cocktails in Gresham.
If you are looking for an award-winning institution of higher education that is touching lives in many ways, look no further than Mount Hood Community College. For 50 years, MHCC has been an economic engine that brings hundreds of millions of dollars into our community, while also providing great educational services to area residents. No matter what you're interested in, MHCC has a place for you. To learn more, visit our website at mhcc.edu. Mount Hood Community College, transforming lives, building communities.
It's time to gear up. Visit the Grey Wolves team store during your next visit to Osland Field. Hats, hoodies, and shirts in different styles, colors, and logos to show your support of Gresham's team. We have a huge selection of Grey Wolves gear available online as well. Just visit GreshamGreyWolves.com to pick up your favorite gear and wear it to the next Grey Wolves game at Osland Field. That's the team store at GreshamGreyWolves.com. Gear up!
And so now the left-hander Jordan Knoll on the mound for the Kitsap Blue Jackets as he will take on the Grey Wolf offense. Preparing to step in as the leadoff man Dylan Doherty, as we'll get you the rest of the starting lineup here for the Grey Wolves. Jack Johnson batting second, Mark Cardinale batting third, Josh Adams in the cleanup hole, followed by Jeff Mitchell Jr. batting fifth, Ryan Smith hitting sixth, and he'll be the DH as Doherty first pitch swinging on the first one he sees, ground ball over to the right side. The second baseman picks up and fires, covering as a pitcher, but not in time as the ball gets away and into the dugout, I believe, of the Kitsap Blue Jackets. So Dylan Doherty putting some pressure on the Blue Jackets defense from the start, and the official call, I believe, is an infield hit and then an E4 that allows him to get to second base. So Doherty hoping to start a new hitting streak here. He gets his first base knock of the series and is rewarded by being allowed to go to second base on the error by the second baseman Lopez. Now, it was a soft chopper over the right side, and the first baseman Powell could not get to it. Backing up was Lopez at second base, and covering was Knoll, as he now fires the first pitch strike here to Johnson. However, the throw was wide. Knoll, whose momentum was taking him up the line, couldn't recover, allowed Doherty, who probably would have beat the throw anyways, to then get to second base. So now the 0-1 on the way here to Johnson. A big floating changeup that time, but a bit too high. As the count will even up here at a ball and a strike. Now as for the rest of the order, followed by Smith in the 6th hole, it'll be Drew Curtis batting 7th, Ben Klinke hitting 8th, and rounding it out in the 9th spot will be the second baseman, Curtis Parent. So now Knoll working from the stretch, runner on second. Big swing and a miss here on a curveball as Jack Johnson now down to the count here, 1-2. And Johnson making his second start of the series. Played last night. Or rather, got a pinch hit appearance last night as he now will ground one over the left side right to his counterpart, the third baseman Jack Stronach, who will square up, go across the diamond, and beat Johnson by just a step here for the first out of the Gray Wolves first. So one away here as Doherty is not allowed to move up to third base as the ground ball was in front of him, had to stay put. And so now the hot-hitting Cardinale will step in. Now, in the last week, Cardinale has been leading the Gray Wolves in multiple categories. His 23 at-bats, 11 hits, tied for the most doubles with 2. Of course, 2 home runs, and an egregious amount of runs batted in, a total of 10, 4 of which came last night, as now the big Cardinale will take a breaking ball here low, 1-0. 4 for 5 last night, 3 doubles and a long ball. A home run that was a no-doubter off the bat, as he now takes a strike up the outside edge here, 1-1. I talked about a little bit in the pregame, but actually in the second game of the series up in Kitsap, Cardinale had himself quite a day there as well. So something about this Blue Jacket team and being that middle game of a 3-game series has certainly favored the Gray Wolf left fielders. He laces this one down the left field line, but going to hook foul about 20 feet there. That'll be the second strike of the at-bat, 1 ball and 2 strikes. But what I was talking about is back on, I believe it was June 19th, up in Kitsap, Mark Cardinale went 4 for 4, 2 triples, which actually puts him in the team lead now as he ropes this one up the middle. That's going to get him for a base hit. Doherty had to sit back, and now the center fielder botches it. Adams trying to recover, will throw into second base, and in with a foot first slide is Mark Cardinale as Doherty scores easily. So going to be a single and an error there in E8. Not something you see too often, as that ball was blistered back up the box and obviously could not handle it, the center fielder Adams. So a couple of base hits combined with a couple of errors, and thanks to that Blue Jacket defense, already 1-1 in here for the Gray Wolves, 1-0 in the bottom of the first. So a couple of errors, one from the second baseman Lopez, and now the center fielder here, Taylor Adams, as defensively for Kitsap. It'll be Elijah Collins in left, Taylor Adams in center, Justin Bundy in right, as now the left-hander Josh Adams will step in and take a big curveball in for strike 1. Around the infield for the Blue Jackets, it'll be Jack Stronach at third base, Luke Stanfell at shortstop, Daniel Lopez at second, Martin Powell's at first, Benny Calevahea behind the plate for the third game. In fact, got to talk to the Kitsap Media Relations Director, Mick Tidrow, as this one is grounded foul here, 0-1. And Mick told me that Calevahea, in fact, is making his 9th straight start behind the plate. The second time, in fact, that he's done that in 9 games in a row, being the backstop, catching all 9 innings so far this season. So I certainly want to give some props there to Calevahea. Not an easy job to do, being back there. That's a lot of innings to catch, as now Adams will tap this one off the plate, off his shin, to stay alive here, 0-2. And Benny's certainly played a solid backstop so far in this series. And I guess the reason for the necessity of the successive games is because a lot of the other catchers have simply left, gone back to school, been called back by their colleges. And the Gray Wolves have certainly have had their experiences with that, as now Adams will take a curveball, bends back high, and it's 1-2. However, not in a position such as a catcher where you really do need 2 guys to play that backstop position. You got to give guys a day off, and like we've seen with Ben Klinke and Matt Cairo kind of swapping off between the first, second, and third game of the series, with Cairo generally getting the middle spot. And so now Knoll here in the 1-2. Kicks and fires. Curveball swung on and missed. And it is a check swing here from Adams. He'll now run to first base trying to elude Kalevahea, but he'll just square up, throw the ball right over to first base in time. The ball was dropped by the first baseman Powles, but I guess it was ruled on the transfer there by the field umpire, Jim Courtney. So nonetheless, Adams is down on strikes. Struck out a couple times there last night and begins this evening on the same foot. So now Mitchell Jr. will step in, runner on second base, as the Grey Wolves already have a 1-0 lead. Thanks to a couple errors for the Kitsap Blue Jackets, so likely going to be an earned or unearned run, I should say. As now Tim Gerkman over in front of home plate, going to wipe off the home bag. And so you're actually surprised he didn't do that earlier in the Josh Adams at bat, considering Doherty had came across home plate and slid through it. But nonetheless, Jeff Mitchell Jr. will step in, the right-handed batter. First pitch on the way from Knoll. Change up, first pitch swing, two-hopper over the left side. Stronach has it, will square up to first base, throw across the diamond in time to retire the side. But not before the Grey Wolves strike for one here in the bottom half of the first. Doherty, after a single, combined with an error from the second baseman, is driven in by the Mark Cardinale single up the box, and thanks to a error by the center fielder Adams, is allowed to come into score. So that'll do it here for the first inning. We'll head on to the second with the Kitsap Blue Jackets coming up here after this break on Gresham Grey Wolves Live.
Follow your Gresham Grey Wolves on social media. The Grey Wolves are active on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Gresham G Wolves. Follow your favorite West Coast League baseball team at home, on the road, and in the community. Behind-the-scenes access, photos from the ballpark, video recaps, and more, all at your fingertips. That's at Gresham G Wolves on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Bum ba da dum da da dum. You are in a quest full of danger and excitement. Your path clouded by deception and dead ends that could cost you dearly. You have to fight off dangerous snakes and vicious jackals, savage headhunters and shark-infested waters. You don't know who to trust, and all you want is to buy a new car. I'm Bess Wills at Gresham Ford, and getting the car or truck you need doesn't have to be a dangerous adventure of epic proportions. At Gresham Ford, you won't find any snakes, weasels, or other predators, and you don't have to worry if you are going to get pillaged. All dealers pay the same for the cars they sell. We just help you get the new or used vehicle you need without all the drama. If you want an adventure full of shady characters, crooked deals, and nasty vermin, go to the movies. If you want to get the best built cars and trucks in America, come to Gresham Ford. We'll all donate $100 to the church or charity of your choice with every vehicle you purchase at Gresham Ford. Bum ba dum bum bum bum.
Finding the right dentist for your young children can be challenging. At Gresham Pediatric Dentistry, we understand the importance of helping your child feel comfortable in the dental chair. Since 2007, Dr. Jiyoung Lee has helped many young patients in the Gresham area, and she can help your child too. Request your appointment today at GreshamPediatricDentistry.com.
And so now we come back here in the top half of the second inning as Joey Galeno first pitch swinging here. Grounds one into the second baseman's glove there. Perrin onto first base in time, one away. As we're joined by a guest here in the booth here, Donovan Ramirez, starting pitcher for the Gresham Grey Wolves. Donovan, how's it going?
It's going good. Just out here on this nice day enjoying some baseball.
Certainly so, as the first pitch on the way here called a strike to the first baseman, Martin Powles. Now, you got the start last night. Ended up going in the first game of the series, 6 shutout innings. As this one a check swing here, and it is going to be ruled no, so ball one. Went 6 shutout innings against Kitsap. Got your first victory in a couple of starts, I believe 3.
That's a tough subject, yeah.
Yeah, I remember bringing it up in our post-game interview after the game. Didn't mean to bring it up so quickly, but I'm glad you're able to get back in the win column and finally have the fruits of your label at least come to fruition, because you'd pitched, at least from what I saw, very well, but unfortunately got tagged with some losses there.
Yeah, that's just baseball. That's what happens. Sometimes you can pitch well and, you get a loss, a couple hits here and there. Walks don't help either, so.
Yeah, as this one is fouled off to the right here. Now the count 2-2 to Pels. Now a pitcher coming from Cal State East Bay, Division II school over there in Hayward, and you're from the Bay Area, correct?
Yes, I grew up in San Jose.
Okay, so how did you choose Cal State East Bay?
Oh, they showed interest my senior year in high school.
Okay.
I thought it was a great school. It was between them, a couple other teams in our league, Sonoma State, and NAIA school, Menlo College. But East Bay was where I wanted to play at, not too far from home. And I just really like how they play baseball there. It's a good place to be.
Definitely. And you're going to be a junior there?
I'm going to be a junior, yeah.
Okay. Now, how's the adjustment been, not only coming from college to summer ball, as this one is flied out into right field, playable there for Mitchell Jr. as he'll take a couple of steps back and make the catch now 2 away. How's the adjustment been in terms of the competition coming from Cal State East Bay up here into the Northwest?
It's good baseball all around. My league is known for being one of the best D2 programs in the nation.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
coming here, where there's a lot of D1 guys, everyone here knows how to play baseball, and a lot of lefties. I'll say that. A lot of lefty pitchers are in this league. It's good to see, though. A lot of competition, and it's a lot of fun.
Now, also in terms of adjustments that you've had to make now is the left-hander Bundy will step in a 2-0 count. The adjustment you've had to make, originally being a reliever and then into the starting role. Now I'm not sure if that's something you had to do in college, but how was the adjustment during the summer coming on and going from the bullpen then to the starting rotation?
Oh yeah, I came about a week into the season, and they just wanted to see what I was all about before I was just kind of thrown out there in the starting position. So I was getting a few innings here and there. It was good. It was nice for me to warm up, see what this league's all about.
Definitely is now the 3-0 on the way. Going to be ball 4 here to Bundy. And actually, I remember your very first outing, I believe you got here on that day.
Yeah.
Had to come out of the pen through 4 1/3. I can't remember if you got the victory in that, but it was a great outing.
I did
so
get
you
the
certainly
victory on that, yeah.
Yeah, so certainly that's something that is going to go down in the memory banks.
Yeah, that was cool. Show up, got off the plane.
Show and go.
Got my uniform, and I was ready to go. That was fun, for sure.
And you guys have had to do that in terms of show and go a little bit also this season with your trip up to Canada as well. So maybe you're a little more prepared than anyone else.
Yeah. We've had a lot of practice with the show and go routine. So.
And so now Taylor Adams here in an 0-1 count as Brett Ganaway. So far, so good. 2 outs here with the runner on first base in the top of the second inning as his pickoff attempt over there, no tag. And having already faced these guys, what's something you've seen, at least up there on the mound, 1 through 9, that you think will play to the strengths of Ganaway?
I just think he needs to attack the zone with his stuff. He doesn't have to be too fine here. These guys can get themselves out, but you just can't throw one right down the middle.
Yeah.
Still hit your spots, but you don't have to be too fine with these guys.
Now the 1-1 fly ball deep left field, down the left field line, giving chase is Cardinale, and that ball is into the ivy, and it is going to be possibly rolled to ground, roll double as Cardinale will throw his hands up. I don't know if you've had any experience with that, with balls getting into the ivy, but that's something that's always kind of a deep breath kind of moment, never knowing if the umpire is going to call it a ground roll double or in this case possibly a home run.
Yeah. Umpire's checking it out right now.
So we'll see.
I think the rule is if he can't see the ball, then it'll be ruled a ground rule double.
Well, and judging by the fact that he's kicking around the ivy, he can't even get the ball out, is going to be ruled 2. So, in fact, actually fortunate for the Grey Wolves as it looked like the runner on first there, Bundy might have had a chance to come all the way around. But nonetheless, no runners have come across. Going to be runners at first, or rather second and third, as Adams doubles here with 2 outs, puts runners in scoring position. Now, with Benny Caleva-Hea, this catcher coming to the plate. Now, this is a guy that, I don't know if you know, but has been played in 9 straight games behind the plate there. And obviously, you've kind of gotten to pitch to both Cairo and Clanky.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about having a consistent catcher being back there, or does it really bother you?
Cairo and Clanky, I like that I know how they catch.
Yeah.
Clanky's a little lower. But it doesn't really bug me that much. They're both pretty solid behind the plate. So.
Yeah, definitely. And they both have done a good job as of late of keeping the ball in front, which Clinky will have to do here as the first pitch on the way. Ball 1 here to Kalevahea. So this second inning, at least in your start, was the one where your offense busted out for 6 runs, and that was really all you needed.
Yeah,
but
that was really
yeah.
Nice.
How was that watching that from the dugout?
Yeah, it gives me a lot of time off before I have to get back out there on the mound. But it's nice, you just go out there, no stress.
Definitely. Is now Ganaway misses a bit low here below the knees. Did you have to go up during that inning and kind of warm up or get some light tossing in?
Yeah,
it was a long inning.
I was stretching down in the bullpen a little bit because it was a pretty long inning. Yeah, I was just not stressed at all. I was feeling good, pretty confident. It's a good feeling.
Yeah, especially that early on in the ball game is now the 2-0 delivered foul back off the screen here. 2 balls and 1 strikes to Kalevahea. And I know talking to a couple of other players, some guys that have been up here in the booth as well, they've talked about some teammates of theirs or guys that they've played against being on other teams around the league. Have you had some experience with that, seeing other guys that you've competed against?
Yeah, there's usually about 1 guy per team from my league. There's actually a guy from my team, Trey Yakamoto. He plays for Cowlitz Black Bears.
Oh, nice.
So it was pretty cool facing off against him and his team.
Yeah, I would imagine a lot of the California kids that you've played along with probably down either in further south West Coast leagues. Is that correct?
Yeah. A lot of guys from my league went to the Northwest.
Okay.
Summer ball. Yeah, they're all over the place right now. So.
Sounds good. Is now Ganaway. Going to have to work out here. The 2-2 pitch on the way as Kalevahea will spot this one and fly out into right field. Coming on is Mitchell Jr. He'll make the catch. So Don Ramirez is going to stay on with us for the bottom half of the inning?
Yeah, I'll be here.
Sounds good. As the Kitsap Blue Jackets unable to scrape one across. And we'll go to a quick break here as we head to the bottom of the second inning here at Osland Field. I'm Evan Giddings, and the Gray Wolves lead 1-0.
It's a howling good time down at the Lucky Pint, where we have 30 rotating taps, happy hour all day on Sundays, fishbowl Fridays, or just come down and fill up a growler. The Lucky Pint is the home of Gresham Grey Wolves, where we honor service members with a 20% discount every Monday. Check us out on Facebook to see our latest cocktails and craft beer list, and then come in and see for yourself what all the excitement is all about. Located at 1888 Northwest Fairview Parkway in Gresham, your locally owned place for craft beer and cocktails in Gresham.
If you are looking for an award-winning institution of higher education that is touching lives in many ways, look no further than Mount Hood Community College. For 50 years, MHCC has been an economic engine that brings hundreds of millions of dollars into our community, while also providing great educational services to area residents. No matter what you're interested in, MHCC has a place for you. To learn more, visit our website at mhcc.edu. Mount Hood Community College, transforming lives, building communities.
It's time to gear up. Visit the Grey Wolves team store during your next visit to Osland Field. Hats, hoodies, and shirts in different styles, colors, and logos to show your support of Gresham's team. We have a huge selection of Grey Wolves gear available online as well. Just visit GreshamGreyWolves.com to pick up your favorite gear and wear it to the next Grey Wolves game at Osland Field. That's the team store at GreshamGreyWolves.com. Gear up!
And so now it'll be the designated hitter Ryan Smith coming to the plate here in the bottom of the second inning for the Gresham Grey Wolves. And alongside here in the booth, my name is Evan Giddings, along with Donovan Ramirez, starting pitcher for the Gresham Grey Wolves. And now as Jordan Nell, the left-hander, delivers his first pitch of the inning, taken high for ball 1. Now, a huge part of the team, at least from our view up here in the booth as media members, has been having a good time down there on the field, whether it be on or off it. You guys seem like you have so much fun with each other. And how is it being along with guys like, Carter Book, Michael Clark, guys that like to horse around a bit, along with even Gabe Benavides? I've seen you guys down there, and even into our post-game, stuff like getting dunked on in interviews or stuff on the bus. How is it being with the teammates like that?
It's really fun. We do, aside from all the joking around, we do take it serious and we all want to win. Everyone works hard on the team. But yeah, there's definitely time and places where we where we have a little bit of fun. Keeps the game relaxed though, and
Yeah, this one, ball 4 here to Ryan Smith, going to work himself a walk here to begin the bottom of the second inning. And you were saying, I mean, I know that you guys have had stuff that's kind of been developed throughout the season, but was the dunking thing something that had just been kind of brought on that day?
yeah, I was out there getting a post-game interview, and then a couple seconds later, I'm getting dunked on.
Were you the first one?
Yeah, I was the first one to get dunked on. That was it's not that good. Not a good feeling.
As Drew Curtis will now step in, the first baseman for Gresham takes a ball outside here, 1-0. And I know also talking to Carter as well, not only here in the booth yesterday, but also off the field. As this one is laced into right center field, sinking, and it is going to be a diving play made there by the right fielder Bundy. Kind of fell and lunged at it, but still able to make the catcher for the first out. So Drew Curtis here is retired with one away. Now, in talking to him, he says that, so you guys also have some stuff that you do on the bus, but wouldn't really go too far into that. Are there certain things you guys have together, whether it be team jokes or possibly pranks you guys pull on each other?
Yeah, the pranks can get a little out of hand sometimes. Sometimes on road trips. It's actually pretty funny. We have this joke of the trip kind of deal. Someone says a funny joke. They get this big old pole that says joke of the trip. They got to carry that around everywhere they go.
That's good stuff. So now Ben clanking to the plate as a pickoff attempt by Nolov there, not in time. Smith back in safely over at first base and back in the lineup. Now, you know a little more than I did. Smith was a guy that throughout this season, at least I've noticed, is this one too far inside, definitely has been in the starting lineup nearly every day, but got a bit of rest last night. And do you know if the shoulder's feeling okay? I know he had some ice on that last night.
Yeah. He was just taking a day off, trying to take full advantage of it, ice up, and he's feeling fine.
Okay, as now he takes off to second. We'll see if he's feeling good here. Slide, and he is safe. Ryan Smith in with a foot first slide as the pitch too high and outside, so Ben Clanky now in a 1-0 count. But nonetheless, Ryan Smith collects his 10th stolen base on the season, puts himself in scoring position here with one out. And so also, not only being a guy that wasn't here at the beginning of the season, although you said you came on just a weekend. So as this one is roped into left field past the shortstop, and they're going to send Smith all the way rounding third. Elijah Collins, no play as he'll just toss it into second base. And back on the board here, the Gray Wolves 2-0 off the bat of a Ben Clanky single. And so some more.
Gray Wolves looking pretty good here.
Some more support coming for Brett Granaway, something that you certainly know about. But actually, the offensive support wasn't something that you had experienced too much in the previous 3 starts.
Yeah.
And I know a couple of those were on the road as well, a couple of tough losses. But what is the difference, do you think, as this one misses low here to Curtis Perrin? What do you think the difference is with your mindset pitching, knowing that you have that big lead? Are you allowed to relax a little more, or do you just continue to pitch your game?
I continue to pitch my game, but there's just no unnecessary stress.
Now this one slapped into left field, right at the left fielder Collins. He ranges over to his left and makes the catch here, now 2 away. So, sorry, continue
It's
a little
just
more.
good knowing in the back of your head you're up by 5. Base it here and there won't hurt you. So.
And as a guy that I've noticed, especially the consistency of strikes. Now, your pitches move a lot, and that's something you also talked about, kind of implementing that new cutter.
Yeah.
But it seemed like, especially after you have that lead, I mean, you were locked in. It was strike after strike after strike.
Yeah. I just it just feels good having that big lead. Like that's really huge. That's a huge part of the game, and I just feel like I can just reel back and just let it fly after that.
Definitely. Is now Doherty down in an 0-1 count. As now runner takes off, pitch on the way, curveball low, throw down to second base, not in time as a head first slide allows Ben Clanky, the backstop here for the catcher for the Gray Wolves, to able to collect another stolen base so far, 2 in this inning. But talk a little more about, you said you're developing that cutter, so how's that coming along? It looked pretty good out there the other night, but.
Yeah, it complements curveball, because I'll throw a curveball, just kind of get me over pitch, and they're expecting a fastball right after. I'll throw a cutter that looks like the curve, but it's a lot faster.
Yeah.
all those pitches just kind of complement each other.
As now Doherty hits one off the end of the bat into left field, sinking, but Collins is there to make the play. So 3 away here as that'll conclude the second inning. And Donovan Ramirez, thank you for being here in the booth. Appreciate that.
It was fun.
So the Gray Wolves get one more, now up 2-0 as Ryan Smith comes in to score off an RBI single from Ben Klanke. As we'll head to the third inning here at Osland Field and take a break here on Gresham Gray Wolves Live.
Try to double play with your Gresham Gray Wolves by becoming a marketing partner. If you or someone you know would like more information on how to become a marketing partner, contact the Gray Wolves at 503-428-5248. Again, that's 503-428-5248. Your partnership with the Gray Wolves will be a howl of a good time.
Pack the park at Osland Field. The Gray Wolves are hosting the Bend Elks from Friday, August 5th through Sunday, August 7th. Fans can get $5 general admission tickets or $7 reserved seats all series long for the last West Coast League regular season series of the year. Just send an email to jerry@greshamgraywolves.com to receive your Pack the Park voucher to bring to the Osland Field gate. For more details, visit greshamgraywolves.com.
Follow your Gresham Gray Wolves on social media. The Gray Wolves are active on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Gresham G Wolves. Follow your favorite West Coast League baseball team at home, on the road, and in the community. Behind-the-scenes access, photos from the ballpark, video recaps, and more, all at your fingertips. That's at Gresham G Wolves on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
And so now the right-hander, Brett Ganaway, just about done with his warm-up pitches as we're set to begin the third inning here at Osland Field between the Kitsap Blue Jackets and your Gresham Gray Wolves. The rubber match of a 3-game series here with Elijah Collins, Jack Stronach, and Daniel Lopez. They will come to the plate here to face Ganaway, who so far has had smooth sailings. Ran into a bit of trouble there in the second, allowed a 2-out walk and then a double, but no harm done as he induced a fly out to the right fielder, Mitchell Jr., to end that inning off the bat of Kalevahea. So now Elijah Collins going to wipe the dirt out of the right-handed batter's box. Will prepare to step in here as the throw down to second base is done. And Ganaway, a tall right-hander on the bump. Had a 1-2-3 first. Able to get through the second inning and now on to the third. So Collins is coming in. Is a bit of a new player, a new guy out here for Kitsap as he now shows bunt, drag bunt over to the third base side. Picked up barehanded by Ganaway, throw to first base, not in time. As Collins, we've certainly seen the speed. I was just about to say in the first game of the series, went 2 for 3, had 2 stolen bases. And now demonstrating the ability to lay down the bunt as well. Was not necessarily greatly placed in terms of being right on the chalk or down the third base line. Was kind of halfway between the pitcher's mound and the third base line. As now the left-hander Lopez will step to the plate. He's 0 for 1. Pick off attempt not in time. But nonetheless, the speed of Collins on full display there. Would likely see him on the move here as he now is in with a head-first slide. Back-to-back pickoff attempts there by Ganaway, but to no avail. So Collins, a total of 2 stolen bases for the Blue Jackets. As now Ganaway in the stretch will now induce a ground ball over the second baseman, over to shortstop, back into first base in time. A 4-6-3 double play. So it doesn't matter. Collins, one pitch, ends up getting a bunt single. The second pitch of the inning off the bat of Jack Stronach is induced into a 4-6-3 double play. And just like that, Ganaway has 2 away here in the top of the third. So now Daniel Lopez will step in, I believe he was the last batter. However, the second baseman currently is 0 for 1. Lined out to the center fielder, Josh Adams. Out there patrolling the skies there for Gresham this evening. As the first pitch on the way to Lopez is a breaking ball, just a bit high here, 1-0. And so Ganaway, not a guy that's going to compound the mistakes with allowing free bases, just a total of 5 walks between conference and non-conference play here so far this season as he now fires in a fastball too far inside here, 2-0. So that's certainly a good sign and definitely able to induce the ground balls as we've already seen so far. So now in the windup, high leg kick, shows bunt does Lopez, and takes a fastball just off the plate inside there as he pulls the bunt back, now 3-0. Jack Johnson coming in on the third base grass will now retreat about 5 or 6 steps past third base. The 3-0, fastball right down the heart as Klinke will snap that one, and it's 3 balls and 1 strikes here to Lopez. Last night, Lopez, couple of base knocks, a total of 3 in fact, as he had 2 singles, a double, couple of RBIs, and a 3-for-5 performance as he now takes a fastball on the outside corner for strike 2. Lopez thought that was ball 4 heading towards first base, but is going to have to refocus here as he'll take a breather out of the batter's box, restrap the batting gloves. Will have to prepare himself to at the very least see one more pitch. So now he's back in, Ganaway with the sign, quickly in the windup. Now kicks and fires, and it's a fastball. Broken bat pop-up on the infield. Doherty over. He'll call off Perrin, make the catch, and there's 3 away. So the side is retired here as Ganaway effectively faces the minimum. The leadoff single was foiled by a double play, and then a pop-up there grabbed by Doherty as that will end the top of the 3rd inning. We'll head to the home half of the frame, and when we return for the Gray Wolves, coming to the plate, it'll be Jack Johnson, Mark Cardinale, and Josh Adams. When we return here on Gresham Gray Wolves Baseball, they have the lead 2-0.
Finding the right dentist for your young children can be challenging. At Gresham Pediatric Dentistry, we understand the importance of helping your child feel comfortable in the dental chair. Since 2007, Dr. Jiyoung Lee has helped many young patients in the Gresham area, and she can help your child too. Request your appointment today at GreshamPediatricDentistry.com.
It's a howlin' good time down at the Lucky Pint, where we have 30 rotating taps, happy hour all day on Sundays, fishbowl Fridays, or just come down and fill up a growler. The Lucky Pint is the home of Gresham Gray Wolves, where we honor service members with a 20% discount every Monday. Check us out on Facebook to see our latest cocktails and craft beer list, and then come in and see for yourself what all the excitement is all about. Located at 1888 Northwest Fairview Parkway in Gresham, your locally owned place for craft beer and cocktails in Gresham.
If you are looking for an award-winning institution of higher education that is touching lives in many ways, look no further than Mount Hood Community College. For 50 years, MHCC has been an economic engine that brings hundreds of millions of dollars into our community, while also providing great educational services to area residents. No matter what you're interested in, MHCC has a place for you. To learn more, visit our website at mhcc.edu. Mount Hood Community College, transforming lives, building communities. And so Jack Johnson will lead off this inning. First pitch swinging as he belts one into right center field. Going to get in for a double as he'll head over to second base. Bundy, the right fielder, unable to cut it off. As we'll come back to you here. Beginning of the bottom of the 3rd inning as Jack Johnson wasting no time. Was already 0 for 1, able to pick up his first base hit and extra base hit of the evening, as now that will bring Mark Cardinale to the box. Currently is already 1 for 1 with a single. Not wasting any time. Starting off hot here tonight. Singled in Doherty, although not officially given an RBI, as technically Doherty scored on the error by the center fielder Adams, as he now takes a changeup high and outside here, 1-0. So Doherty actually, who led off that first inning, singled, reached second base, is now Cardinale out in front. Ground ball to the third baseman. Diving play there by Stronach. Gets up, fires across the diamond in time. Throw back to third base as Johnson in with a headfirst slide safely. The throw not nearly in time, but regardless, a spectacular defensive play there made by Jack Stronach over at the hot corner. He dove to his right. In fact, the ball I thought was going to hook foul past the bag, but Stronach, who was in on the grass, didn't even give it that chance. I was able to get himself up and propel a throw, strong throw all the way across the diamond, just in time to get Mark Cardinale. So there's 1 away. Nonetheless, a productive out as Johnson moves up to third, now 90 feet away from representing the Gray Wolves' 3rd run of the ball game. And we'll do right so here as Josh Adams, a ground ball to the second base side. Lopez will pick it up and fire into first, but not before Johnson comes in on an RBI ground out here from Josh Adams. Execution is the name of the game here for the Gray Wolves here tonight, as they have taken full advantage of every opportunity that the Blue Jackets have provided them. And just like that, it's 3-0 already here in the bottom of the 3rd. So the Gray Wolves simply chipping along here is now Jeff Mitchell Jr. Will step in, takes a strike right through the heart of the plate. As he'll come to the bat. 2 outs, although 1 run already across as he takes a fastball here low. And executing and just chipping away right here are the Gray Wolves. 1 run produced in each of the first 3 innings. Total of 4 hits so far, taking advantage of the 2 errors by Kitsap that came in the first inning. And now Mitchell Jr. takes a curveball that bends in over the inside corner. Now 1 ball and 2 strikes. And his first at-bat, Jeff, grounded out to the third baseman Stronach as now a backdoor breaking ball, not quite far enough over the part of the plate. And it'll even up the count there at 2-2. However, the pitcher, Jordan Nolt, definitely thought that was strike 3. Took a couple of steps towards the dugout as now Mitchell Jr. will foul this one off to the left side. Grabbed by the man on deck there, Ryan Smith. A nice barehanded play. I guess glove-handed technically with the batting gloves on. Nonetheless, 2-2 pitch on the way. Fastball runs low here, and that'll run the count full. So 3 balls and 2 strikes here to Jeff Mitchell Jr. Who last night had a pretty good ball game. Has been hitting well overall in this series. 1 for 4 last night as he now sends a hard ground ball up the middle. 1 hop right to the shortstop, Stanfield. He'll fire onto first base in time to retire the side. So Jack Johnson leads off with a double, comes around to score after being manufactured over. Cardinale gets him to third, and Josh Adams gets him in as he represents the 3rd run of the ball game for the Gray Wolves. As we head to the 4th here at Osland Field, it'll be 3-4-5, Stamfeld, Galeno, and Powell's when we return here on Gresham Gray Wolves Baseball Live. It's Kitsap 0, Gresham 3.
It's time to gear up. Visit the Gray Wolves team store during your next visit to Osland Field. Hats, hoodies, and shirts in different styles, colors, and logos to show your support of Gresham's team. We have a huge selection of Gray Wolves gear available online as well. Just visit GreshamGrayWolves.com to pick up your favorite gear and wear it to the next Gray Wolves game at Osland Field. That's the team store at GreshamGrayWolves.com. Gear up!
Turn a double play with your Gresham Gray Wolves by becoming a marketing partner. If you or someone you know would like more information on how to become a marketing partner, contact the Gray Wolves at 503-428-5248. Again, that's 503-428-5248. Your partnership with the Gray Wolves will be a howl of a good time.
Pack the park at Osland Field. The Gray Wolves are hosting the Bend Elks from Friday, August 5th through Sunday, August 7th. Fans can get $5 general admission tickets or $7 reserved seats all series long for the last West Coast League regular season series of the year. Just send an email to Jerry at GreshamGrayWolves.com to receive your Pack the Park voucher to bring to the Osland Field gate. For more details, visit GreshamGrayWolves.com.
Follow your Gresham Gray Wolves on social media. The Gray Wolves are active on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Gresham G Wolves. Follow your favorite West Coast League baseball team at home, on the road, and in the community. Behind-the-scenes access, photos from the ballpark, video recaps, and more, all at your fingertips. That's at Gresham G Wolves on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
And so now the right-hander Brett Ganaway back onto the mound, trying to get through his 4th inning of work. So far, smooth sailings for the Columbia University product, as he's gone 3 scoreless innings so far. 3 runs on the board for Gresham, none for Kitsap, as the first pitch on the way delivered here to the leadoff man and 3-batter Luke Stamfeld in for a strike over the inside edge here, 0-1. Now currently on the game, the shortstop for Kitsap is 0 for 1. Popped out as he laces this one, a ground ball to the third base side, but going to kick foul. They're just beyond the dugout of the Gray Wolves. He's quickly down to the count here, 0-2. So Brett Ganaway so far in this ball game, wasting no time going after these Blue Jacket hitters. Total of 36 pitches thrown. This one laced to the first baseman, caught by Drew Curtis. Jumped up, a slight jump over there by the tall 6'4" first baseman, as Curtis is able to flag that one down, and there's one away here to begin the 4th inning. So a couple of lineouts already in this ball game. Lopez lined out to the center fielder Adams, And now Stamfel here in the fourth, as the Grey Wolves defensively already shoring it up in comparison to last night, as Galeno now takes strike one over the outside edge. Unfortunately, the defense did come back to kind of haunt the Grey Wolves in the latter part of the ball game, as check swing here on a slider low and in. No, he did not go, says Tim Gerkman over at first base, so the call is a ball at 1-1. Will Matheson was tagged with both of the errors for Gresham, unfortunately allowing three unearned runs to come across as a changeup low in the dirt here by Ganaway. 2 balls and 1 strike. And considering the fact that Matheson ended up going 2 for 5 himself, produced a total of 3 runs, scored 1, drove in 2. So Matheson ended up getting tagged with the error that allowed the go-ahead run to come in, as Galeno fouls this one back off the screen to even it up at 2-2. Produced 3 unearned runs. The Grey Wolves actually got 1 unearned run themselves, as they fell by a score of 98. But the defense so far already tonight looking much better than it had been just 24 hours before. Now as Ganaway misses outside here with a changeup, and the count will run full. So 3-0 here in the top of the 4th inning. 4 hits for Gresham, 2 for Kitsap. Now the payoff pitch, a ground ball over to the first base side, but going to get out of play right into the hands there of the first base coach, Damon Porter. Is he'll collect it, underhand it into the dugout. And Ganaway will prepare for another 3-ball, 2-strike count. Excuse me. So now the second payoff pitch on the way. Fastball just a bit low, as Galeno will work ball 4 here. Martin Powell will now step in. So Galeno, 0 for 1, works his first walk, as there'll be a runner on base here with 1 out now. As the first baseman for the Blue Jackets is 0 for 1, he'll come in. And Martin Powell has struggled mightily in this series, and talking with the broadcaster for Kitsap, Mick Tidrow, as this pickoff attempt not nearly in time. No tag over there at first base by Curtis. Talking with him, Powell's has been a guy that has been just on fire as of late offensively, as he now takes a off-speed pitch too far outside here, 1-0. Was on a tear coming into this series. However, so far in the first 2 games, 0 for 8, already 0 for 1 tonight, so 0 for 9 total on the series. 3 strikeouts as well, as a large and lumbering right-hander now fouls this one off his own ankle. Going to be called for strike 1. So a good job for Gresham, able to keep him in check throughout this series. Unfortunately, at least looking on paper, if you thought that you hold Powell's to an 0 for 4 performance with 2 strikeouts, that his offense in Kitsap does not still muster 9 runs. However, they were able to do so, making up for the lack thereof of Powell and his hitting ability. There's now the 1-1 on the way. Chopped off the plate there, kicked off to the left, and it's going to be foul here. 1 ball and 2 strikes. However, the case not so. They were able to keep Powell's as well as the Blue Jackets offense quiet in Game 1. Did allow 8 hits. However, able to really manage the damage. There's another 1-2 on the way from Ganaway. Big breaking ball, soft line drive into center field, oncoming Adams, and he will let that one drop. So the first base hit of Powell's, and of course, as I talk about the woes offensively for Kitsap first baseman, he's able to prove me wrong and get his first hit of the series.
Right fielder, number 35, Justin Butney.
So with 1 out, runners on second and first. Galeno will take his lead from second. Powell's on first base. That'll bring in the right fielder, Justin Bundy. In his first plate appearance, walked. Ended up getting to third base off the double of the man on deck, Taylor Adams, who in the first at-bat of each of his 2 games that he's played in this series, or started, I should say. Now the first pitch swung on a miss there by Bundy. Chased a fastball off the outside edge, 0-1. Taylor Adams last night, after being named the beer batter, and is the beer batter tonight as well, has responded not so kindly to that, certainly taking it personally, as he hit a 3-run home run in the first at-bat last night. And here tonight, roped a double, as now Bundy fights this one off and over the left side out of play. The count is no balls and 2 strikes. So hopefully Adams can cool off a bit, especially after that first at-bat last night. Ended up going only 1 for 3. Of course, those 3 RBIs all coming on 1 swing, as well as the 1 run he scored. Is now the 0-2 check swing, but couldn't pull the trigger there. So Bundy takes ball 1 high, 1-2. And Adams, a guy that had been struggling mightily coming in to the game, and especially the start yesterday was batting below 150. There's another 1-2. Fought off, ground ball softly up the middle. Barehanded there by Doherty on to first base in time, or rather caught it off the left-hand side of the glove and made a nice smooth transition, able to make the throw to first base and get Bundy. However, because of the slowness of the chopper, a nice defensive play there made by the shortstop Doherty, it allowed the runners to move up to second and third base. So now a couple of runners in scoring position, eerily similar to the second inning when Bundy and Adams both reached. Kalevahea could not get the job done, but now it'll be up to the man in front of him here, Taylor Adams. So Ganaway a long pause at the top. Now finally kicks and fires. Fastball too far outside here, and it's a ball and no strikes here to Adams. So like I mentioned earlier, 1 for 1. Had a double that actually kind of gave the Gray Wolves a break. It was a one-hopper into the ivy down the left field line, but stuck in the ivy that allowed Cardinale to throw his hands up, ensure a ground rule double. Now as Ganaway bends a strike right through the heart of the plate here, 1-1. And allowed Cardinale to throw his hands up because I believe should that ball have kicked off a normal wall or had come out of the ivy, I think the runner on first, which was Bundy, in fact, would have scored. As now Ganaway can't quite get the call. A curveball just off the outside edge here. Now 1-2. Or 2-1. So 2 outs here with a couple runners on. Stanfield lined out to begin this inning for the first out, and Bundy, the soft chopper, the shortstop here for the second out, as now Ganaway delivers a fastball too far outside here, low, 3-1. And although Adams, with an average coming into the game of 143, so in fact still below 150, has been hot over these last 2 days, don't want to necessarily give in to him right here. So in a hitter's count, now the 3-1 on the way. Fastball, and it is fouled off the ankle hard there of Adams. That one's going to hurt, as he'll have to walk that one off. Going to take a lap around home plate. As a nice gesture there by the catcher, Clank going to run the ball out, just probably trying to give Adams a little more time there at the plate, as is the home plate umpire Gerkman. Brushing off the plate, although Adams appears to be okay. We'll step back in the batter's box. And so Ganaway peering in. One shake. Now finally has his sign. Clanky sets up outside, and the pitch. And it is roped into right center field. Going to get it in and going to split the gap. We'll get all the way out to the ivy. That's going to easily score 2. We'll see how far Adams can go. He's running second base. The relay throw in from Perrin over to third base, and it is not in time as Taylor Adams in with a 2-out triple. The hottest member of the Kitsap Blue Jackets continues to strike, as over the last 2 days he has completed 3/4 of the cycle already. A home run last night, already had a double, and now a triple out to right center field. And just like that, Kitsap is back in this ball game. They trail it 3-2. Both Galeno and Powell's come in to score. So just a one-run ball game here in the top of the 4th inning. Seemed like a decent pitch from Ganaway outside, in fact, a little bit off the plate as well. But nonetheless, Adams simply went and got that ball, able to barrel it and split the gap out there in right center field between Adams and Mitchell Jr. So now it'll be up to Kalevahea to try and tie this ball game as he takes a curveball in for strike 1. So Adams, not a guy apparently you want to mess with. And interesting, considering he had been the beer batter both nights. Unfortunately, we can't switch that up at this point because he is seriously taking that thing to heart. There's now another curveball swung on and missed. Might have actually been tipped into the glove there of Clanky, but nonetheless the count here 0-2. And probably justifiable reason for the selection. 33 strikeouts on the season through 77 at-bats, so nearly half of his times coming to the plate had struck out, but nonetheless has produced a total of 5 RBIs in 2 games, up to 15 now on the season. Second on the ball club as now Kalevahea sends a high fly ball deep out to right field. This one is driven, and it is down for a base hit. Cannot be caught up against the warning track. Mitchell Jr. will catch it, play it in. Kalevahea is going for a triple. This time the throw to third base, and it is not in time. I thought the tag might have beaten Kalevahea, but nonetheless, back-to-back triples here as he trades places with Taylor Adams, and just like that, we got a tie ball game here at Osland Field. So back-to-back triples here off the bat of Taylor Adams and Benny Kalevahea have put the Kitsap Blue Jackets right back in this ball game, all knotted up at 3. And still an opportunity here with Elijah Collins coming to the plate to possibly take the lead. They exploded for 5 runs on 5 hits last night in the second inning, although got a little bit of help. Had 2 of those runs coming as unearned. Now have come out for 3 here in the top of the 4th as Elijah Collins takes a ball low here, 1-0. Now Collins in his last at-bat had a bunt single up the third base line. In fact, I actually wouldn't be surprised to see him lay one down here, especially with that speed. As now Ganaway, front door breaking ball, can't quite catch the corner. It's 2-0. So 1, 2, 3 hits in this inning has produced 3 runs. In fact, the first walk of the season, or in this ball game, I should say, for Ganaway as he now buries a strike on the inside corner here, 2-1. Just the 6th walk in WCL play for Ganaway goes to Galeno. And he comes around to score on the triple from Adams. All of this happening with 2 outs here as now Collins takes a fastball right through the heart now to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Ganaway trying to get out of this inning here. Now the 2-2 here to Collins. Fastball chopper over to the right side and past the dugout there of Kitsap as the count now remains here 2-2. Plenty of plate coverage there for Collins trying to stay alive. Trying to collect his 4th hit of the series as he already has 3. 3 for 4 so far if you combine his statistics from game 1. As a 2-2 again on the way. Curveball, backhanded pick there from Clanky. Very impressive. Going to the backhand, needing to block that one as the count will now run full. Not something you see too often from backstops, especially in a situation like this. 2 outs would run on third would likely get their body in front of it. But nonetheless, Clanky still able to get the job done. It's a payoff pitch, ground ball over to the third base side and a diving play, but it is foul. Jack Johnson laid out for that one. The ball got by him, but foul, says the home plate umpire Tim Gerkman. And Brett Ganaway possibly catching a break there because that one was awfully close. Looked like a fastball in on the hands of Collins, just turned on it. So it seemed like a good pitch. As we'll see if Ganaway goes right back in there here with the payoff pitch again. Does have a base open. Working from the stretch. Every single time with the runner on third, that high leg kick and the fastball too far high. Also might have been a bit inside. So 2 walks here in this inning from Ganaway. Very un-Brett Ganaway-like. As he has walked now a third of the batters he has total on the season. At least in West Coast League play has a total of 7 now, but 6 in conference play as now pitching coach Ian Sanderson will head out and have a quick word with his right-hander. Now again, all of these runs, all 3 of them that have currently come across, have all scored with 2 outs. Galeno started things with a 1-out walk in a full count, got the best of Ganaway. Then in a 1-2 count, Martin Powell singled. Taylor Adams then with 2 outs in a full count, tripled off a fastball off the plate to right center field that came and plated 2 runs. And then finally, Benny Kalevahea in an 0-2 count, triples off the right field wall. And that was a ball that I thought Mitchell Jr. might have had a chance to get to. Of course, with plenty of speed, and able to cover a lot of ground out there in the outfield. However, unable to get to that one. And Adams and Kalevahea essentially trade places. So 3 runs have come across. Now is Sanderson back in the dugout. And it'll be the leadoff man, Jack Stronach, that will come to the plate. He's 0 for 2. Popped out to begin the ball game to the shortstop Doherty. Grounded into a 4-6-3 double play back in the third. So Ganaway, who's had success here against the Blue Jacket third baseman, looking to continue that streak as he'll work with runners on the corners. Fires the first pitch fastball just a bit low below the knees, and it's 1-0. So total now of 7 batters have come to the plate. 8 now representing Jack Stronach as a pickoff attempt over to first base, not in time. And definitely wouldn't be surprised to see Collins running in this situation. At the very least, to take away the easy out at second base, as now the pitch is too far low here, 2 balls and no strikes. And he certainly got the green light plenty of speed for Collins. Already has 2 stolen bases in this series, both of which came in game 1. There's now the 2-0 pitch, a fastball over the outside edge here, called for a strike. So Stronach, who last night was 2 for 5 with a couple of runs scored, finally broke out, had a rough game 1, and 0 for 4. It was a 2 for 1. 2-1 on the way, roped down the first base line, but foul. Collins was off on the play, but will retreat back to first base as that represents the second strike as the count is all even. So 3-3 ball game here. All the runs coming in this top half of the 4th. The Grey Wolves have plated 1 in each of the previous 3 frames, and hopefully can continue that trend moving into the bottom half of this inning as a pickoff attempt over to first. No tag there from Curtis. Now Ganaway looking to put the batter away. 2-2 pitch on the way. Big curveball. Slapped through the left side. That's going to get in for a base hit. The left fielder Cardinale will play that one in, but not before the Kitsap Blue Jackets have taken the lead here at Osland Field. A total now of 4 hits in this inning. 2 of them have been triples and a couple of singles as well, the latter of which coming off the bat of Jack Stronach here, an RBI base hit, bringing in Benny Kalevahea, and it's 4-3 Kitsap. So they have simply gotten to Ganaway here in the 4th as it appears to be a right-hander now beginning to warm up. And it looks like a submariner in the bullpen for Gresham. So likely would be Zach Robinson. That's the guy beginning to warm. But first things first, Daniel Lopez must be dealt with. However, is not as he laces one down the left field line. Collins going to round third. He'll score easily. They're going to have Stronach post up at third base as the ball comes in. A one-hop right to the third baseman, but not in time as Daniel Lopez laces a double down the left field line. Kitsap plates another after scoring 5 in the second yesterday, have now scored 5 here in the 4th to gain a 2-run advantage over Gresham. And that'll be it here for Brett Ganaway as Justin Barkas simply cannot watch anymore. He'll head out and take the ball. Unfortunate as Ganaway had a good and smooth first 3 innings, but cannot get through the 4th. So we'll have a pitching change here on Gresham Grey Wolves Live. We're going to go to a quick break as it appears that Zach Robinson, the Submariner, will be coming in when we return here on Grey Wolves Live. I'm Ivan McGiddings. Don't go anywhere.
Bum, ba-da-dum, da-da-dum. You are in a quest full of danger and excitement. Your path clouded by deception and dead ends that could cost you dearly. You have to fight off dangerous snakes and vicious jackals, savage headhunters and shark-infested waters. You don't know who to trust, and all you want is to buy a new car. I'm Bess Wills at Gresham Ford, and getting the car or truck you need doesn't have to be a dangerous adventure of epic proportions. At Gresham Ford, you won't find any snakes, weasels, or other predators, and you don't have to worry if you are going to get pillaged. All dealers pay the same for the cars they sell. We just help you get the new or used vehicle you need without all the drama. If you want an adventure full of shady characters, crooked deals, and nasty vermin, go to the movies. If you want to get the best built trucks in America, come to Gresham Ford. We'll all donate $100 to the church or charity of your choice with every vehicle you purchase at Gresham Ford. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum.
Finding the right dentist for your young children can be challenging. At Gresham Pediatric Dentistry.
And so as we come back to you here after the pitching change, 1 pitch, 1 out. Sorry for the technical difficulties we experienced right there, but nonetheless, A line drive off the bat of Luke Stanfield is snagged by the Gresham Grey Wolves defense. They're able to record the out as Zach Robinson, one pitch is all that is necessary to get out of the inning as we'll head to the bottom of the fourth. But nonetheless, 5 runs come across in that inning from the Kitsap Blue Jackets as we'll return here after a quick break on Gresham Grey Wolves Baseball Live. Kitsap now has the lead over Gresham 5-3.
It's a howlin' good time down at the Lucky Pint, where we have 30 rotating taps, happy hour all day on Sundays, fishbowl Fridays, or just come down and fill up a growler. The Lucky Pint is the home of Gresham Grey Wolves, where we honor service members with a 20% discount every Monday. Check us out on Facebook to see our latest cocktails and craft beer list, and then come in and see for yourself what all the excitement is all about. Located at 1888 Northwest Fairview Parkway in Gresham, your locally owned place for craft beer and cocktails in Gresham.
If you are looking for an award-winning institution of higher education that is touching lives in many ways, look no further than Mount Hood Community College. For 50 years, MHCC has been an economic engine that brings hundreds of millions of dollars into our community, while also providing great educational services to area residents. No matter what you're interested in, MHCC has a place for you. To learn more, visit our website at mhcc.edu. Mount Hood Community College, transforming lives, building communities.
It's time to gear up. Visit the Grey Wolves team store during your next visit to Osland Field. Hats, hoodies, and shirts in different styles, colors, and logos to show your support of Gresham's team. We have a huge selection of Grey Wolves gear available online as well. Just visit GreshamGreyWolves.com to pick up your favorite gear and wear it to the next Grey Wolves game at Osland Field. That's the team store at GreshamGreyWolves.com. Gear up!
And so now Ryan Smith, the right-hander, will step in to face Jordan Knoll, the left-hander, for the Kitsap Blue Jackets. Currently now in a 1-1 count as he took strike one over the heart of the plate right there. Nonetheless, 5-3 now. The Blue Jackets have the lead over the Grey Wolves and the rubber match of this series as Smith now sprays this one directly back and off the screen here for the second strike of the at-bat. Now Kitsap itself struck for 5 runs in the top half of this frame, all with 2 outs. So Brett Ganaway, unfortunately, unable to get through that as he had to turn it over to Zach Robinson. Only needed 1 pitch to get the third out of the inning. As now Ryan Smith chops a ground ball to the shortstop, picks it up over to first base in time. A nice play there from Luke Stanfield connecting with Martin Powles. And just like that, there's one away here in the home half of the fourth. So like I was saying, 5 runs there for the Blue Jackets in the top half of this inning. Galeno walked with 1 out, then Powles singled. Then after, with 2 outs, the runners on second and first, they ended up moving up to third on a wild pitch. However, it was the same situation that Ganaway faced in the second inning as now Drew Curtis steps in, takes ball 1 too far inside. Runners on second and third in the second inning, and Brett Ganaway was able to bear down and induce a flyout to get out of that jam as ball 2 here is fired. But nonetheless, could not get out of the jam, allowed a triple to Taylor Adams, followed by a triple to Benny Calevahea, as Adams was able to follow that up. And now a ground ball again to the shortstop here. Stanfield collects it on the backhand and fires across the diamond in time to get Curtis here on a 6-3 putout. So 2 of those to begin this inning as Smith and Curtis are retired. Now 2 away with Ben Klinke coming up. So like I was saying, Adams and Calevahea back-to-back triples that brought in 3 runs, and then Collins walked and then was singled in by Jack Stronach, as well as the combination of Daniel Lopez himself. He doubled. So a total of 5 runs there in that inning, as now Klinke will foul this one back off the plate into foul territory, and it's 0-1. Now Klinke currently one of 2 members of the Grey Wolves with an RBI. The only member of the Grey Wolf offense with an RBI base hit. Had an RBI single back in the second to bring in Ryan Smith, who was the first out of this inning, and now collects his second hit right here as he ropes one into right field. Going to get in for a base knock as Bundy will play that one in. Ben Klinke staying hot here. He's 2 for 2. And so now the second baseman, Perrin, will step in. He's 0 for 1. Did line out to the left fielder Collins in his last at-bat. Found barrel, but unfortunately also found glove as he was retired. So nonetheless, the Grey Wolves looking to continue the trend of scoring 1 run per inning. They played 1 in the first. Doherty scored there. Smith scored in the second. And finally, the third frame, Jack Johnson came across. So now Perrin, first pitch on the way here, fastball on the outside edge, called strike. And Perrin so far this season, a total of 27 walks that have been earned as he checks his swing. And yes, he went around, says the home plate umpire, Tim Gertman. Total of 27 walks, 28 strikeouts as well, as he effectively symbolized that in one game. Now pickoff attempt over to first, throw down to second base as Klenke is caught stealing, and he is out. So Perrin will get another shot to either walk or not. However, Klenke is thrown out on the pickoff attempt, and that will end the Gray Wolves' fourth. So we'll head to the fifth here at Osland Field with Joey Galeno, Martin Powles, and Justin Bundy coming to the plate. Hopefully they will not find a way to put up 5 in this top of the fifth. And we'll see as Zach Robinson will be on the bump. And we'll take a break here on Gresham Gray Wolves Live. It's 5-3 Kitsap.
Try a double play with your Gresham Gray Wolves by becoming a marketing partner. If you or someone you know would like more information on how to become a marketing partner, contact the Gray Wolves at 503-428-5248. Again, that's 503-428-5248. Your partnership with the Gray Wolves will be a howl of a good time.
Pack the park at Osland Field. The Gray Wolves are hosting the Bend Elks from Friday, August 5th through Sunday, August 7th. Fans can get $5 general admission tickets or $7 reserved seats all series long for the last West Coast League regular season series of the year. Just send an email to jerry@greshamgraywolves.com to receive your Pack the Park voucher to bring to the Osland Field gate. For more details, visit greshamgraywolves.com.
Follow your Gresham Gray Wolves on social media. The Gray Wolves are active on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Gresham G Wolves. Follow your favorite West Coast League baseball team at home, on the road, and in the community. Behind-the-scenes access, photos from the ballpark, video recaps, and more, all at your fingertips. That's at Gresham G Wolves on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Bum.
And so now we return to you here in the top half of the fifth inning. It'll be the designated hitter, Joey Galeno, coming to the plate, along with the first baseman, Martin Powles, and the right fielder, Justin Bundy. 5-3 lead here, Kitsap over Gresham so far, as the right-handed submariner, Zach Robinson, is on the bump. He was able to get the last out of the fourth inning, mercilessly ending the 5-run rally by the Blue Jacket offense. Got a line out off the bat of Luke Stamfel, actually in that inning, as this one is laced high and deep to center field, giving chase as Adams out near the warning track, and he will hawk that one down. A nice over-the-shoulder catch made there by Josh Adams, new to center field, but not new to making plays in the outfield, as there's one away here off the bat of Galeno. So deep fly there from the DH to no avail, as there's one down here to begin the fifth, with Martin Powles now stepping in. However, like I was mentioning, the shortstop Stamfel, who Robinson induced into a lineout, made 2 of the 3 outs there in that fourth inning. Total of 10 at-bats, as now this one is lofted out to right field. Playable for the right fielder, Mitchell Jr. He battles the sun, but still makes the catch. Now 2 away, 2 pitches and 2 outs here for Zach Robinson, who has certainly been able to induce contact since coming on. Just making his third appearance, a 3.85 earned run average. Just 2 1/3 innings pitched. He's allowed 1 earned run in those. 1 strikeout, 3 hits allowed so far. However, has gone 3 up, 3 down for the first few of batters he's faced, as now he misses with a fastball outside here to Bundy, 1-0. Getting just the second look here at Robinson, pitched against Corvallis on the 21st of July, as he now fires a fastball on the inside corner, called strike 1. And in fact, I believe he also pitched in the international exhibition game against the Perth Heat, but that wouldn't be in conference play of the West Coast League, as now he fires a fastball that's just off the plate now outside 2-1. So Robinson, we got to look at against Corvallis, went 1 inning, allowed 1 earned run, 2 hits, although did also record his first strikeout, as he now paints this one on the inside edge, fouled off the bat of Bundy down the left field line here, 2-2. So the first Submariner, in fact, I believe we've seen on either of the teams that I've got to look at this season, is now the 2-2 fly ball out to deep left center field. Giving chase is Cardinale. He will now settle under it and make the catch out near the warning track. So a couple of ground covering plays here by the Grey Wolves, and all three flyouts, one to each of the outfield positions, as Robinson has a smooth 1-2-3 top of the fifth inning. We'll head to the bottom of the frame with the Grey Wolves coming up. It'll be Curtis Perrin, Dylan Doherty, and Jack Johnson when we return here on Gresham Grey Wolves Live. It's Kitsap 5, Gresham 3.
Finding the right dentist for your young children can be challenging. At Gresham Pediatric Dentistry, we understand the importance of helping your child feel comfortable in the dental chair. Since 2007, Dr. Jiyoung Lee has helped many young patients in the Gresham area, and she can help your child too. Request your appointment today at GreshamPediatricDentistry.com.
It's a howlin' good time down at the Lucky Pint, where we have 30 rotating taps, happy hour all day on Sundays, fishbowl Fridays, or just come down and fill up a growler. The Lucky Pint is the home of Gresham Grey Wolves, where we honor service members with a 20% discount every Monday. Check us out on Facebook to see our latest cocktails and craft beer list, and then come in and see for yourself what all the excitement is all about. Located at 1888 Northwest Fairview Parkway in Gresham, your locally owned place for craft beer and cocktails in Gresham.
If you are looking for an award-winning institution of higher education that is touching lives in many ways, look no further than Mount Hood Community College. For 50 years, MHCC has been an economic engine that brings hundreds of millions of dollars into our community, while also providing great educational services to area residents. No matter what you're interested in, MHCC has a place for you. To learn more, visit our website at mhcc.edu. Mount Hood Community College, transforming lives, building communities. And so it'll be the right-hander Brian Howell, a new member of the Kitsap Blue Jackets. In fact, has got here today, along with another reliever we may see later, Jacob Asa. Nonetheless, it'll be the right-hander Howell on the bump, making his first appearance as a member of the Kitsap Blue Jackets. And the first couple of Grey Wolves he'll get to face will be Curtis Perrin, Dylan Doherty, and Jack Johnson. So, of course, that'll mark the end of the day for left-hander Jordan Knoll. Mentioned right at the beginning of the game that Knoll would not be able to go very long due to a pitch count, as well as the fact that he's thrown so many times throughout this season. Made 19 appearances all out of the bullpen, so this being his 20th appearance, however, just his first start, and performed pretty well. 4 innings, 3 runs, 2 of them earned, 5 hits scattered, along with a strikeout and a walk. As the first pitch on the way from Knoll is swung on, lifted out to the left field, playable there for Collins as he now takes a couple of steps in and to his left to make the catch here, 1 away. So Perrin, after seeing a couple of pitches in the last inning, wasted no time here against Brian Knoll. He technically got a second look at 2 different pitchers as he was up at the end of the bottom of the 4th inning, and then Ben Klinke got picked off in an 0-2 count, so he didn't get the chance to finish that at bat. But unfortunately for Gresham, there's 1 pitch and 1 out here in the home half of the 5th. Now Dylan Doherty will come to the plate as he takes a first pitch fastball low and inside here, 1-0. As Doherty, so far 1 for 2, as he now takes a big swing and a miss there. 1-1. So certainly some cheddar being provided there by Brian Howell. Don't have much on him. Didn't get a roster biography or any type of scouting report, so we're pretty much just going to go off of what we've seen so far, which is fastball, curveball, changeup, as he now misses low in the dirt here. Kicks off to the side, now 2 balls and a strike. In fact, I don't even believe he's on the point streak roster as now he misses up and away here with a fastball, now 3-1. So nonetheless, working exclusively from the stretch as he now fires. Looked like a slide at that time, but doesn't matter as it misses high. And so Brian Doherty, the on-base machine, along with Perrin himself, taken to the turn, able to work himself a 5-pitch walk. So now Jack Johnson will step in. He's 1 for 2 with the run scored. Also a double. Now in the season for Johnson, the double representing his 7th of the season. That puts him in a tie for 2nd place, along with Jeff Mitchell Jr. with 7 doubles himself. Now first pitch, breaking ball too far outside there. In fact, Barely able to keep it in front was Kalevahea. Nonetheless, Grey Wolves got some speed on base, and Doherty has only swiped 5 bags this season, been caught stealing 3 times. But we know about the speed just from watching him out there on defense. Pickoff attempt over to first base, not in time. Doherty back in just in front of the tag there with the head first slide. Johnson in his last couple of games the last couple of series, I should say, hasn't seen a ton of playing time. It has played in 5 games as he now belts this one out to deep right center field, giving chases to center fielder Adams, and he will watch this one go. I believe it was a home run, although it's difficult to tell as the ball will get into the ivy. Johnson's going to head all the way to home plate as if he thought it was a home run, and now the field umpire, Jim Courtney, will get out there and take a look. And I could be wrong, but this one could be coming back, and I actually now think it will as the ball looks to be in the ivy. However, it disappeared out there in right center field. So difficult to tell if it went over the fence. And now going to be rolled a ground roll double as Courtney pulls the ball out of the top part of the ivy. So nonetheless, an extra base hit for Johnson, now 8 on the season, 8 doubles. That officially moves him into a tie for first place with Ryan Smith for most doubles on the team. Nonetheless, an impressive shot there by Jack Johnson, the second pitch he saw from the right-hander Brian Howell. Just like that, with 1 out, the Grey Wolves have put the tying run on second base, and now that will bring out the pitching coach here, Damon Porter, to have a quick word with the newest member of the Blue Jacket staff. So Doherty works himself a walk. Johnson doubles. Runners in scoring position, no double play opportunity as Mark Cardinale, the most dangerous Gresham throughout this series, the most dangerous Gresham Grey Wolf, I should say, throughout this series, will step in as he's 1 for 2. And now Tim Gerkman will go and try and break up this little confab going on the mound. Every time Kitsap has sent a coach to the mound, whether it be the head coach Matt Cartwright or the pitcher's coach Damon Porter, I guess officially listed here as an assistant coach, but nonetheless has acted as one, it's always involved the entirety of the infield. And that's something I haven't seen too often from really many other teams. They bring the first baseman, second baseman, shortstop, and third baseman into the mound. But it doesn't matter here now as Cardinale finally would come to the plate. Howell toes it from the first base side of the rubber and buries a first pitch breaking ball in the dirt, blocked by Kalevahea here 1-0. So an interesting look there from the Blue Jackets during their meetings they have on the mound, but nonetheless obviously have proved effective throughout this series. Generally the guys coming out of the pen have been performing pretty well. Nonetheless, 1-0 on the way. Now fastball taken on the outside edge here, 1-1. So Cardinale, who I mentioned, who is 1 for 2, was essentially robbed of an RBI opportunity back in the first as Dylan Doherty came around and was ruled an error there by the center fielder Adams. Might have had a chance to score. Nonetheless, made it easier to call. And now the second pitch, a slider up and tight here. Bend out of the way did Cardinale as he takes ball 2. So we mentioned how Cardinale certainly has been the hottest Grey Wolf as of the last week, batting .478, 11 for his last 23 as he now will fight this one down the right field line. That one is getting going, and it is off the wall. I thought the one was going to go foul, but nonetheless, Mark Cardinale, he's got himself a triple. That's going to score 2 off the bat of Mark Cardinale for the Gresham Grey Wolves, and just like that, we have ourselves a tie ball game. It was difficult to see off the bat, and maybe the reason why Bundy didn't get a good jump out there in right field. Barely past the outstretched glove there of Bundy, and probably the reason why the man on second base, Johnson, had to hold up to see if he was going to catch it or not. However, nonetheless, the ball gets down, goes for extra bases, as after the Grey Wolves give up 2 triples, they respond here for one of their own off the bat of Mark Cardinale. So another 2 RBIs here for Mark, a total now of 12 in his last week alone. As Josh Adams will come to the plate with 1 out. All he needs is a ground ball here to get the runner in. Takes a swing and fouls this one back off the screen here, 0-1. Now Josh Adams did exactly what the Grey Wolves will ask him to do in this situation here back in the 3rd inning. Came up to the plate with less than 2 outs, runner on third base, and it was Johnson at the time. Grounded one to the second baseman Lopez, trotted over to first base, headed back to the dugout with an RBI. So technically 0 for 2, but with a run batted in. Now the 0 for 1. Slider fought off towards the left side. That's going to get towards the shortstop. Incoming Stanfield. Throw on the run and not in time. An infield single for Josh Adams as a nice read from the runner on third base, Cardinale, able to bring him in and break this tie here at Osland Field. So in the bottom of the 5th inning, the Gray Wolves have struck for 3 runs. 2 off the bat of Cardinale, now 1 off the bat of Adams as he's on first base, and still 1 out as Gresham has the lead now 6-5. So Jeff Mitchell Jr. will now step in. He's 0 for 2 with a pair of groundouts. Looking to keep this rally going, still just 1 out. Now a bluff over there. Steal attempt by Adams, but back to the bag as this pitch misses up and in. Here 1-0. Adams just 1 stolen base in the season. Has also been caught stealing ones. The success rate for Gresham has been pretty decent. 53 out of 68 chances. They've been caught stealing 15 times. Is now the 1-0. Fastball runs high up around the letters. Taken by Mitchell Jr. 2 balls and no strikes. And now in his first at-bat, swung at the first pitch he saw. Grounded out to the third baseman, Stronach. Worked a full count in his second at-bat. And has now worked a 3-0 count here in the third as he takes a fastball in. Has 23 walks so far this season, just 2 behind Ryan Smith for the second most on the team. Of course, Perrin owns the top spot with 27 as he now takes a fastball right through the middle of the plate here, called for a strike. And so in his first appearance for Kitsap, Brian Howell has been rocked. It looked like he got off to a smooth start, inducing a flyout from Perrin. Now this one grounded right back up the box. That one into center field as Adams going to take a big turn, now heading back to second base as the throw will come in. But nonetheless, 4 base hits in a row here from the Gresham offense have produced 3 runs and have now put a runner also in scoring position, still just 1 out. As after Perrin flew out to left, there's been 5 base runners in a row. And just in similar fashion to the Blue Jackets, the way they got things going there in the 4th with a 1-out walk, the Grey Wolves have also been able to do the same, a 1-out walk themselves from Dylan Doherty has kick-started this 3-run rally. And so now Ryan Smith will step in, 0 for 1. First pitch slider on the outside edge, called for strike 1. Walked in his first at-bat that came back in the second inning, ended up stealing second base before being singled in by the catcher, Ben Klenke. Also a ground out in the 4th. There's now a double steal on, throw down to third base, and it is in plenty of time to get Josh Adams in with a head-first slide, but doesn't matter as the jump was simply not good enough, and a strong throw there from Benny Kalevahea gets the man at third base. So hopefully the Grey Wolves not running themselves out of a situation. We talked about how they've been thrown out 15 times. We'll make that 16, although Mitchell Jr. will advance to second base. Now the 0-2 pitch with 2 outs now to Smith. There's a slider low and outside, blocked in the dirt there by Kalevahea. A nice play there, and there's a ball and 2 strikes. And so kind of a questionable decision. I'm not sure if it was put on by Barkis himself, because it looked like Adams took off, and then Mitchell followed suit in order to get to second base. Of course, with covering speed, able to still get to second base. And now the 1-2, fastball up and tight here, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Smith. So Adams, who's out on a 2-5 caught stealing, was a bit frustrated himself, surely going back in the dugout, but if there's going to be a time that you want to take that chance, it definitely would have been right there. As now the 2-2 is a fly ball out down the right field line, but is going to slice foul there. So it'll be out of play. We'll do it again here, 2-2. Hopefully that opportunity does not come back to bite the Grey Wolves, especially with 1 out there in that situation, a runner in scoring position. There'd be 4 hits in a row, and you could argue no reason for Adams to even think about taking off in that situation, but maybe trying to make something happen against Howell and get further into his head, as he's surely been rattled here so far in this inning. Now has a chance to get out of it with just 1 pitch. So the 2-2 now, fastball, inside out, pop up over to the right side. Incoming the right fielder Bundy as it drifts down the line. Now ranges up and is able to make the catch. So despite a caught stealing and a flyout taking the Grey Wolves out of the inning, they are still able to plate 3. A walk, a double and two triples, or triple and a single, I should say, from Cardinale and Adams, bringing 3 runs for Gresham as we have the lead here at Osland Field. Gresham 6, Kitsap 5 as we go to the 6th inning, and it'll be the bottom of the order for the Blue Jackets when we return here on Gresham Grey Wolves Live.
It's time to gear up. Visit the Grey Wolves team store during your next visit to Osland Field. Hats, hoodies, and shirts in different styles, colors, and logos to show your support of Gresham's team. We have a huge selection of Grey Wolves gear available online as well. Just visit GreshamGreyWolves.com to pick up your favorite gear and wear it to the next Grey Wolves game at Osland Field. That's the team store at GreshamGreyWolves.com. Gear up!
Turn a double play with your Gresham Grey Wolves by becoming a marketing partner. If you or someone you know would like more information on how to become a marketing partner, contact the Grey Wolves at 503-428-5248. Again, that's 503-428-5248. Your partnership with the Grey Wolves will be a howl of a good time.
Pack the park at Osland Field. The Grey Wolves are hosting the Bend Elks from Friday, August 5th through Sunday, August 7th. Fans can get $5 general admission tickets or $7 reserved seats all series long for the last West Coast League regular season series of the year. Just send an email to jerry@GreshamGreyWolves.com to receive your Pack the Park voucher to bring to the Osland Field gate. For more details, visit GreshamGreyWolves.com.
And so now the right-hander Robinson back out on the bump for his 3rd inning of work. Coming in for Brett Ganaway. Was able to get the last out of the 4th inning. Had a smooth 5th inning as he fires in a fastball, fouled back off the screen by the leadoff man Taylor Adams. As Galeno was the first out in the 5th inning. However, nonetheless, Robinson, that submarine action has proven to be deceptive as this one a high fly ball deep into center field, giving chase towards right center now as Josh Adams able to make the catch near the warning track. So a couple of nice plays here to begin Robinson's both 5th and 6th inning. Both plays made there by the center fielder Josh Adams, going back into left center to begin the 5th and now going back and towards right center here to begin the 6th. And just like that, there's one away to begin the frame. So now Benny Calevahea will step in. He's 1 for 2. Tripled after Taylor Adams tripled there in the 4th, was a part of the 5-run rally as all of their runs so far for Kitsap came in that 4th inning. Currently 6-5 in the rubber match here of a 3-game series, all tied up at 1. Gresham got the W in game 1, 6-1 as the first pitch to Calevahea as a changeup that runs low here 1-0. In game 2 of the series, unfortunately, the Grey Wolves fell in heartbreaking fashion, 9-8. Kitsap scored the go-ahead run in the top of the 9th inning, and Gresham could not bounce back in the bottom half of the frame. So Robinson, exclusively working out the stretch, kicks and fires a fastball over the outside edge. Can't be caught there by Clanky, but doesn't matter as it was right down the heart. So now even up in the count, 1-1. Here's Calevahea. However, Gresham responded to that 5-run inning. They had 3 runs of their own through the first 3 innings. 1 in each, 1 in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd. And then put up 3 of their own here in the 5th. As now this fastball fought off right to the third baseman Johnson. He gets the short hop, squares up, fires across the diamond in time. And there's 2 away here. So since coming on, Robinson, 6 up, 6 down. Got the first out of the top of the 4th. 1, 2, 3 in the 5th, and a chance to go 1, 2, 3 here in the 6th. Knock on wood. And so the 3 runs for Gresham that came in the bottom of the 5th inning, 2 of them came off a triple from Mark Cardinale out to right field on a pitch that was kind of hard to read off the bat. He certainly squared it up as it was a high fly ball. Now Elijah Collins shows bunt, pulls back, but it doesn't matter as he takes strike 1 at the knees. Went out to right field just beyond the outstretched glove of the right fielder Bundy. That brought in Johnson and Doherty, and then the next pitch, Adams grounded 1 to the infield, able to get a hit. As this one is grounded right over the left side, third baseman Johnson has it, a 2-hopper, and skips it on over to first base in time to retire the side. So 1, 2, 3 as Robinson has retired his first 7 coming into this ball game, and will head to the bottom half of the 6th inning. The Gray Wolves have the lead as Drew Curtis, Ben Clanky, Curtis Perrin, the bottom of the order, will be coming up for the Gray Wolves when we return here on Gresham Gray Wolves Baseball Live. It's Gresham 6 and Kitsap 5.
Bum, ba-da-dum, da-da-dum. You are in a quest full of danger and excitement. Your path clouded by deception and dead ends that could cost you dearly. You have to fight off dangerous snakes and vicious jackals, savage headhunters and shark-infested waters. You don't know who to trust, and all you want is to buy a new car. I'm Bess Wills at Gresham Ford, and getting the car or truck you need doesn't have to be a dangerous adventure of epic proportions. At Gresham Ford, you won't find any snakes, weasels, or other predators, and you don't have to worry if you are going to get pillaged. All dealers pay the same for the cars they sell. We just help you get the new or used vehicle you need without all the drama. If you want an adventure full of shady characters, crooked deals, and nasty vermin, go to the movies. If you want to get the best built cars and trucks in America, come to Gresham Ford. We'll all donate $100 to the church or charity of your choice with every vehicle you purchase at Gresham Ford. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum.
Finding the right dentist for your young children can be challenging. At Gresham Pediatric Dentistry, we understand the importance of helping your child feel comfortable in the dental chair. Since 2007, Dr. Jiyoung Lee has helped many young patients in the Gresham area, and she can help your child too. Request your appointment today at GreshamPediatricDentistry.com.
And so it'll be the first baseman, Drew Curtis, the first man up here against Brian Howell, the right-hander, back out on the bump for his third inning of work. As from the windup, long peer in, finally has the sign, and now kicks and fires. A fastball, first pitch swinging, popped up towards the right side. Drifting into right field now as in comes Bundy, and he'll settle under it, make the catch, now one away in the home half of the 6th. So Curtis now 0 for 3 on the night, as that'll bring Ben Clanky up. He's 2 for 2. However, both times has been stranded. One time ended the 4th inning as he was picked off, and then unfortunately was stranded at second base back in the 2nd after actually putting himself there. Stole a base, which is something we haven't seen too often from the catching position for Gresham so far this season. Nonetheless, takes the first pitch fastball too far inside here, 1-0. As Howell has given up 3 runs to the Gresham Gray Wolves offense, all coming in the 5th inning. Doherty walked with 1 out. Johnson doubled, followed by a triple from Cardinale. Those brought in 2 runs as this one sprayed off to the right here for the first strike of the at-bat here from Clanky in foul territory. And then Josh Adams got himself an infield single to bring in the run. And just like that, the Gray Wolves find themselves on top, 6-5 here in the series finale at Osland Field between the Kitsap Blue Jackets and your Gresham Gray Wolves. As this slider misses too far low here, 2 balls and 1 strike. Like the last time that Gresham will see Kitsap this season, they went up there, up to central, kind of south central Washington earlier in the season, June 19th through the 21st. As now Clanky, who took a brief pause, now steps back in. The pitch on the way. Change up low and inside here. Count runs 3-1. So an opportunity here for the Gray Wolves, who took 2 out of 3 up there in Kitsap to win the summer series. And Kitsap trying to battle back and earn a 500 mark here against Gresham. As now the 3-1, and it is popped up. A high fly ball on the infield over on the right side. Now drifting towards the middle as Lopez. He'll call off the shortstop and make the catch. Now 2 away here in the Gresham Gray Wolves 6th inning. So now Curtis Perrin will step in, the second baseman for the Gray Wolves is 0 for 2. A couple of flyouts, one of them in line drive fashion, as he had a base hit stolen from him back in the 2nd inning. And the Gray Wolves so far this game have only left 3 runners on base. However, all 3 of them have been in scoring position. As this one is fired, fastball too far outside that time from Howell, and it's 1-0. There's been pretty good production all throughout the order. Everyone relatively pulling their weight, especially top through bottom, as Perrin now checks his swing, and he did not go around as the ball is high and tight here, 2-0. Perrin's 0 for 2, Curtis 0 for 3. However, besides those 2 members, having not reached base. Every other Gray Wolf has found themselves aboard. Is now this one a called strike on the outside edge, 2-1. Perrin has been struggling a bit and has been through a bit of a cold spell over his last week as he now fights this one off to the left. However, has been getting a start due to his defensive capabilities, especially his utility action. We saw him out in center field, made the very first start of his life in center field, as he told me before the game yesterday. Performed pretty well, although now giving way to Josh Adams here tonight as he reverts back to his typical position at second base and now takes ball 3 here low, full count. Trying to earn himself a base as a payoff pitch on the way. Swung on and missed, tied him up with a fastball, and Brian Hell gets his man. A 1-2-3 inning there for the Kitsap right-hander as the Gray Wolves are down in turn, and we'll turn it over to the 7th inning here at Osland Field. It'll be the top of the order for Kitsap when we return. Jack Stronach, Daniel Lopez, and Luke Stanfill here on Gresham Gray Wolves Baseball Live. It's Gresham 6 and Kitsap 5.
It's a howlin' good time down at the Lucky Pint, where we have 30 rotating taps, happy hour all day on Sundays, fishbowl Fridays, or just come down and fill up a growler. The Lucky Pint is the home of Gresham Gray Wolves, where we honor service members with a 20% discount every Monday. Check us out on Facebook to see our latest cocktails and craft beer list, and then come in and see for yourself what all the excitement is all about. Located at 1888 Northwest Fairview Parkway in Gresham, your locally owned place for craft beer and cocktails in Gresham.
If you are looking for an award-winning institution of higher education that is touching lives in many ways, look no further than Mount Hood Community College. For 50 years, MHCC has been an economic engine that brings hundreds of millions of dollars into our community, while also providing great educational services to area residents. No matter what you're interested in, MHCC has a place for you. To learn more, visit our website at mhcc.edu. Mount Hood Community College, transforming lives, building communities.
It's time to gear up. Visit the Gray Wolves team store during your next visit to Osland Field. Hats, hoodies, and shirts in different styles, colors, and logos to show your support of Gresham's team. We have a huge selection of Gray Wolves gear available online as well. Just visit GreshamGrayWolves.com to pick up your favorite gear and wear it to the next Gray Wolves game at Osland Field. That's the team store at GreshamGrayWolves.com. Gear up!
And so it'll be the right-hander Robinson back out on the bump. Has been stellar so far. 7 up, 7 down as he enters the top of the 7th inning. First man up will be Jack Stronach in a 1-0 count as the second pitch now on the way. Here misses too far outside. 2 balls and no strikes. So Robinson will face Stronach, Lopez, and Stanfill in this inning. Should anyone reach, it would be the designated hitter, Joey Galeno. Is now an off-speed pitch. Looked like a slider that time. Missed too far low here. Nonetheless, the count will run 3 balls and no strikes here to Stronach. Looking to reach for his, sorry about that, as he will be looking to reach for the second time here tonight, and will take a strike right around the knees here, 3-1. Has already reached on an RBI single back in the 4th. That brought in, along with Lopez, a couple of runs for Kitsap. A total of 5 there in that frame as now he takes a walk. A fastball too far inside from the hand of Robinson. That's the first base runner he has allowed. Unfortunately, comes with nobody out as that will lead off the inning with a base runner himself as Lopez will step in. Now Lopez has been a Gray Wolf killer over the last couple of days. A 3-for-5 performance last night. A couple of hits the previous evening. And now he shows bunt, pulls back, and it's a slash as this one is foul tipped into the glove of Klenke. I thought he just straight up missed it to begin with, but the home plate umpire, Tim Gerkman, threw his hands up as if to signal foul ball. So an interesting tactic employed there by Kitsap and the third base coach, as well as head coach Matt Cartwright. A sacrifice situation, and in fact, I thought it was a little fishy, the fact that he showed so early. Nonetheless, pulled it back, and a slash situation as now this one misses too far outside here. The count is even up at a ball and a strike. So Lopez so far is 1 for 3 tonight. Had an RBI double. Popped up, also lined out to center field back in the first as he ropes this one down the left field line just over the head of Johnson. That's going to get him for a base knock in fair territory as Cardinale hustles over, plays it in. So that'll hold him to a single as the man on first base, Stronach, unable to get to third base. So Lopez, who is looking for his second extra base hit tonight, will have to settle for 1 bag. as he is now 2 for 4 this evening, and Luke Stamfield will come up. So after 7 in a row retired by Robinson, he's allowed the first 2 base runners here in the 7th inning. Won't be surprised to see some action get going down there in the bullpen for Gresham. There's a right-handed reliever throwing down there for the Blue Jackets. That is now Luke Stamfield, who's 0 for 3 so far tonight. Shows bunt and takes a first pitch fastball in the outside corner, called strike 1. So it appears to just be a light game of catch. Looks like number 22 down there is throwing. That'd be Jacob Brzezina, who was the left-handed starter last night, so I doubt it. We've had some shuffling of the roster, so we'll simply have to wait as this fastball again placed on the outside corner, almost the identical spot at the knees. Stamfield didn't like it, but nonetheless the count runs 0-2. So as for the mystery man down there in the bullpen, looking through the roster, appears could be a couple options. Could also be the new guy, Jacob Asa. We'll have to wait for the pronunciation on that as well. Both of those guys, Howell and him, just got here today. As this one capped off the end of the bat, ground ball to the right side as Perrin is over, gloves it on the forehand, and flips it onto first base to retire Stamfield. But with the soft ground ball that allows runners on each base to move up 90 feet closer to home plate, as Stronach ends up on third, Lopez to second. And Stamfield does his job, and we'll head back to the dugout with a productive out. So now Joey Galeno, the DH, will come to the plate. An RBI opportunity. The go-ahead run on second base, of course, with the tying run on third, is now a backdoor slider, misses too far out here from Robinson, and it's 1-0. So 0 for 2 so far is Galeno. He actually kick-started the 5-run rally in the 4th with a walk. And then after a single, put himself at third base, back-to-back triples, along with 2 other base hits, of course, allowed all 5 runs to come across as he now takes ball 2 outside. So in addition to that, the ground out back in the 2nd, flew out in the 5th. Galeno has a couple of base hits so far this series. Open stance, now takes a big swing and fouls this one back off and to the left here, 2-1. In his last week, Galeno is batting .261. Pretty solid average there over 6 games. 23 at-bats, 6 hits, 4 runs scored. A couple of doubles as he now pops this one up high into center field. Incoming Adams. We'll see if there's a play at the plate. Strong throw into home plate, and it is going to be not in time. Curtis didn't cut off the throw. No communication there, and that allows also Lopez to get to third base because it appeared that Curtis would have had a chance to not only cut off the throw, but also then throw Lopez's out. He would have been dead in the water going to third base, but instead miscommunication allows not only a sacrifice fly to come in and tie this ball game, but also now with just 2 outs here, puts the tying run on third base. So Stronach comes in. We got a 6-6 ball game. Lopez over to third. Martin Powell's now come to the plate. He takes a first pitch fastball in the outside corner, strike 1. So a very productive out there from Galeno. Does the job. Actually, a very strong throw from Adams. It appeared that it wouldn't even be close, but was a little bit tighter at the plate in terms of the play. It was a little closer than I thought it would have been. However, nonetheless, now a fastball too far outside here. A ball and a strike to Powell as now Klenke will get up out of the squat and go talk to his pitcher, Robinson. And Powell's a very dangerous hitter. Hasn't really done a lot of damage so far in this series. Although came in with a big base knock in the 4th. That was his first hit. So now, just 1 for 11 on the series. As he singled, but also ended up coming around to score. And every run so far in this game, and this series, to be honest, has been so important as he now lifts a high fly ball into center field. Now drifting over towards right center is Adams, and he lost it in the lights. That ball drops down near the warning track as Powell is going to coast him with a double, and that will break the tie. Josh Adams looked like he was camped under it and then started drifting towards right center, evidently lost it somehow. It appeared to be in the lights, as there's no other reason for that. Kind of just threw his hands up towards Mitchell Jr., walking back now towards the field of play. However, the result of the play is going to be a double for Powell's, his 2nd hit in the series, 2nd hit of the night, in an RBI fashion, as that allows Daniel Lopez to come in, and now it's 7-6 Kitsap. So not necessarily a defensive misplay, but just some bad luck there. not having their normal center fielder, Ryan Smith, might have played into that a little bit, although Adams has certainly made some great plays so far already tonight, as now a left-hander, Justin Bundy, will step in, takes ball one outside. So Galeno gets the sacrifice fly to bring in Stronach. Powles follows up with effectively a double. That brings in Lopez. So now the 1-0 on the way to Bundy, and it is ripped into right field. Going to get in for a base hit. Mitchell Jr. is playing shallow. Trouble with it as he bobbles it. Now bobbles it again, and that's going to allow the run to score. So now 3 runs come in, and thanks to some mixed plays from the Grey Wolves defense, certainly going to be a base hit and an error. Okay, in fact, being ruled now just a straight RBI in the base hit. I thought Mitchell Jr. might have had a chance to throw him out at the plate as he was playing shallow, but nonetheless ruled an RBI single here off the bat of Bundy that allows Powles to come in to score. And so now Adams, he will come to the plate looking to extend this inning again, and certainly has got the power. Has been a tough out tonight. Flew out to deep center field. That was the only time he's been retired. Is now the runner on the move. Swing and a miss. Throw down to second base, and the tag is applied in time. And a swing and a miss. Strike 3. Or excuse me, not strike 3. Out number 3 as Justin Bundy is caught stealing by Ben Klenke, the second runner he has thrown out so far tonight, as that will now take us to the 7th inning stretch, the home half of the 7th inning here at Osland Field, the top of the order for the Grey Wolves when we return, as we have an entire new ball game here. Kitsap with the lead, now 8-6.
Pack the park at Osland Field. The Grey Wolves are hosting the Bend Elks from Friday, August 5th through Sunday, August 7th. Fans can get $5 general admission tickets or $7 reserved seats all series long for the last West Coast League regular season series of the year. Just send an email to jerry@greshamgraywolves.com to receive your Pack the Park voucher to bring to the Osland Field gate. For more details, visit greshamgraywolves.com.
Follow your Gresham Grey Wolves on social media. The Grey Wolves are active on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Gresham G Wolves. Follow your favorite West Coast League baseball team at home, on the road, and in the community. Behind-the-scenes access, photos from the ballpark, video recaps, and more, all at your fingertips. That's at Gresham G Wolves on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Finding the right dentist for your young children can be challenging. At Gresham Pediatric Dentistry, we understand the importance of helping your child feel comfortable in the dental chair. Since 2007, Dr. Jiyoung Lee has helped many young patients in the Gresham area, and she can help your child too. Request your appointment today at GreshamPediatricDentistry.com.
And so now Howell will be back on the bump for Kitsap as they have taken the lead after a 3-run 7th inning. They broke the tie, or I should say tied up the ball game, then broke it and got an additional run as Jake Stronach, Daniel Lopez, and Martin Powles all came in to score. Stronach walked, Lopez singled, and then after a 4-3 putout that put runners on second and third, there's a sacrifice fly to tie the ball game off the bat of Joey Galeno. And then Martin Powles doubled on a ball out to center field, and some bad luck for Gresham as the center fielder Adams kind of lost it in the light. It was drifting back, could not come up with it as the ball fell. Was certainly hit well out near the warning track, but should Adams have been able to fight the lights off or possibly played a little differently, maybe got a better read off the bat, could have had a chance to make the play. Nonetheless, allows 1 run to come in, and then the very next batter, Justin Bundy, hit a single to right. Mitchell Jr. had trouble with it, and that certainly allowed the run to come in from second base. Powles was headed there all the way. And so just like that, 8-6 here at Osland Field. Drawing into the later innings, and now just 3 more at-bats here for Gresham as they'll come to the plate here in the bottom of the 7th with the top of the order, and Dylan Doherty, Jack Johnson, and Mark Cardinale. They'll be facing the right-hander Howell, who's finished with his warm-up pitches now. Throw down to second base, will be set to go. It's been pretty even, especially over these last 2 days. We thought the Grey Wolves might have had a chance to run away with it after the first game of the series. And there's been something to be said about the big inning, and that is something that has loomed large throughout this series on both sides. In the first game, Gresham got 6 in the bottom of the second inning, and that is all that they would need coasting to a 6-1 victory. Is now the first pitch on the way to Doherty is roped into right field, and that's going to get through for a base hit. Just around the edge of the grass did it fall. It was kind of fisted, but nonetheless Doherty, small enough but still strong enough to get it through and get in for a base knock as he collects his second hit on the evening. He's now 2 for 3. And so like I was saying, Gresham got 6 in the first game to complete a 6-1 win. Then in the top of the second inning in game 2, Kitsap put up 5 runs. Gresham responded. They had a 3-run inning of their own in the later innings to tie the ball game. Also had a 4-run inning early on to draw within 1, and then eventually tie the ball game. As now Jack Johnson will step in. He takes a curveball inside, too far inside, as that clips off the elbow. So an hit by pitch here as Johnson now goes to first base, and Gresham in prime position to strike back. Now the response inning has been something that has eluded the Grey Wolves offense throughout this series. Has favored more Kitsap. However, they've still been able to do a bit of damage in their own right, as now Mark Cardinale will come to the plate, and that will bring a pitching visit here from Damon Porter. Now, we mentioned how they had a right-hander with Jake Prezina's jersey, a lefty, who we saw last night. He's got his jersey on. He's down there in the bullpen. This soon-to-be-named right-hander, hopefully, will likely actually probably see him soon. Because at this point, Howell, having pitched now in 2 full innings, 5 hits surrendered so far, 3 runs, 3 earned runs as well, so all of them being earned, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. However, the large inning has also played in this game. Gresham put up 1 run in each of the first 3 innings to take a 3-0 early lead, and then things kind of unraveled for Brett Ganaway, the starting pitcher, as well as the Grey Wolves there in the top of the 4th, allowing 5 runs to come across. And it's interesting because the reliever, Zach Robinson, as well, up until that 7th inning, much in similar fashion to Ganaway, had been coasting up until that point. Is now Damon Porter back in the dugout, Howell back on the bump, throws it from the first base side, and the first pitch on the way to Cardinale is a slider outside, 1-0. So effectively, Ganaway, who coasted through the first 3, Robinson, who coasted through his first 2 innings, then fell victim to the big inning, allowing 5 and 3 runs, respectively. All of them being earned, as now Cardinale will take ball 2 low, here 2-0. So far, if you need a man up against the Blue Jackets, especially with runners on base, Cardinale has been the guy you want to go to, as now he takes a fastball at the knees here, 2 balls and 1 strike. 2 for 3 so far. 2 RBIs, both of them coming off of 1 swing, a triple out to right field back in the 5th inning. So now wags the bat above the right shoulder and takes a fastball low and outside here. Count runs now 3-1. So nobody out, with the heart of the order coming up for the Grey Wolves, and this would certainly be a time for them to strike. So Howell is going to have to come back in the zone here, and he gets a pop-up on the infield. Cardinale just missed that one, as Lopez will drift now onto the right center field grass, but make the catch. Didn't matter anyways that the infield fly rule was called, and Cardinale might have missed one there. Got a pitch to hit in a 3-1 count, but unfortunately could not do much with it, as he flies out to the second baseman Lopez for the first out of the bottom of the 7th. So now Josh Adams, the cleanup batter, will step in. The center fielder unfortunately misplayed a ball in the top half of this inning that cost the Grey Wolves a run. However, he will face a new pitcher, as the head coach for the Blue Jackets coming out, Matt Cartwright. He's going to make a pitching change. He'll go to his bullpen, and we'll get you that mystery man when we return here on Gresham Grey Wolves Live after this pitching change. I'm Evan Giddings. Don't go anywhere.
It's a howlin' good time down at the Lucky Pint, where we have 30 rotating taps, happy hour all day on Sundays, fishbowl Fridays, or just come down and fill up a growler. The Lucky Pint is at home of Gresham Grey Wolves, where we honor service members with a 20% discount every Monday. Check us out on Facebook to see our latest cocktails and craft beer list, and then come in and see for yourself what all the excitement is all about. Located at 1888 Northwest Fairview Parkway in Gresham, your locally owned place for craft beer and cocktails in Gresham.
If you are looking for an award-winning institution of higher education that is touching lives in many ways, look no further than Mount Hood Community College. For 50 years, MHCC has been an economic engine that brings hundreds of millions of dollars into our community, while also providing great educational services to area residents. No matter what you're interested in, MHCC has a place for you. To learn more, visit our website at mhcc.edu. Mount Hood Community College, transforming lives, building communities.
It's time to gear up. Visit the Grey Wolves team store during your next visit to Osland Field. Hats, hoodies, and shirts in different styles, colors, and logos to show your support of Gresham's team. We have a huge selection of Grey Wolves gear available online as well. Just visit GreshamGreyWolves.com to pick up your favorite gear and wear it to the next Grey Wolves game at Osland Field. That's the team store at GreshamGreyWolves.com. Gear up!
Turn a double play with your Gresham Grey Wolves by becoming a marketing partner. If you or someone you know would like more information on how to become a marketing partner, contact the Grey Wolves at 503-428-5248. Again, that's 503-428-5248. Your partnership with the Grey Wolves will be a howl of a good time.
And so now the right-hander Jacob Asa, another member of the Blue Jackets who was mentioned earlier in the broadcast, coming along. A right-hander will be throwing for the Blue Jackets out of the bullpen. He'll be replacing his new Kitsap counterpart, Brian Howell, as both of them, in fact, just got in today, got here, I believe, a couple hours before the game. In fact, according to the broadcaster here for Kitsap, Mick Tidrow, told me that Asa as well as Howell would be joining the team here today and likely going to be seeing action, and we've seen both of them so far. So that will conclude the night for Howell as he goes 2 1/3, gives up 5 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned. Does walk 1 as well as gets 1 strikeout. So now the first batter that Asa will be facing will be Josh Adams. He'll step in with runners on second and first, just 1 out. 8-6 is the score. As the first pitch on the way, a fastball, hard fastball on the outside corner, misses though. Ball 1. Adams, so far today, 1 for 3, 2 RBIs as he had an RBI ground out in the third and had an infield single in the fifth that plated Cardinale from third base. So now Asa comes set. Slide step, kicks and fires, breaking ball, slapped off the screen there by Adams. Just missed that pitch. And that's strike 1. So Asa, from the stretch, appears to be working with the slide step, despite there being a runner on second base. No high leg kick. So we'll see how that affects the timing there of Adams at the plate as he now steps out, takes the helmet off, wipes the brow, now prepares to get back in the box. Now Jacob Asa wearing number 22, and that is the number that we saw last night of the starting pitcher, Jake Przina, a lefty, as now 1-1 fastball spin out of the way to that one did Josh Adams. Too far inside, ball 2. In fact, I thought might have nearly got a piece of the jersey. Nonetheless, ahead of the count here is the Gaucho from University of California, Santa Barbara. The guy that got to go to the College World Series, nicknamed Chomaha by his teammates. Nonetheless, we'll choke up on the bat here as the 2-1 coming and slap the other way into left field, but right to the left fielder, Collins. A line drive on the button off the bat of Adams, and Collins didn't even have to move as that one went right to the chest. So a bit of bad luck there for Josh Adams as the Grey Wolves as he will head back to the dugout. So nonetheless, after 2 base runners to begin this inning, Cardinale popped out on a pitch he got to hit there in a 3-1 count in the 7th, and now Adams stung one, but ends up going for an out, and that's just baseball right there now as Mitchell Jr. will step in. He's getting his first look at Asa as well. 1 for 3 on the evening, a single as well as a stolen base. So he now takes a curveball, swings at it, pops it up into right field. Got to be playable there for Bundy, and the Grey Wolves cannot get the job done. They put 2 runners on base with nobody out. A pop out, a line out, and a fly out all have them down as that will conclude the 7th inning. So we'll head to the 8th with the bottom of the order coming up for Kitsap when we return here. It'll be Adams, Clevahea, and Collins here on Gresham Grey Wolves Baseball Live. It's Kitsap 8 and Gresham 6.
Pack the park at Osland Field. The Grey Wolves are hosting the Bend Elks from Friday, August 5th through Sunday, August 7th. Fans can get $5 general admission tickets or $7 reserved seats all series long for the last West Coast League regular season series of the year. Just send an email to jerry@greshamgraywolves.com to receive your Pack the Park voucher to bring to the Osland Field gate. For more details, visit greshamgraywolves.com.
Follow your Gresham Grey Wolves on social media. The Grey Wolves are active on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Gresham G Wolves. Follow your favorite West Coast League baseball team at home, on the road, and in the community. Behind-the-scenes access, photos from the ballpark, video recaps, and more, all at your fingertips. That's at Gresham G Wolves on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Finding the right dentist for your young children can be challenging. At Gresham Pediatric Dentistry, we understand the importance of helping your child feel comfortable in the dental chair. Since 2007, Dr. Jiyoung Lee has helped many young patients in the Gresham area, and she can help your child too. Request your appointment today at GreshamPediatricDentistry.com.
And so the right-hander Robinson back out for the 8th inning as the first pitch on the way here is slapped back off the screen foul by the leadoff man Taylor Adams as he steps to the plate. Currently 2 for 3 on the night. A couple of base hits, both in extra base fashion. One of them a triple, 2 RBIs, as well as a run scored, and also a double as he now swings, lofts this one, a soft line drive into left center field. That is sinking and going to get down for a base hit right in front of this left fielder Cardinale, who is crashing. Nonetheless, a leadoff single here for Adams. That's his third base hit of the night. And for a guy that coming into the game, in fact, coming into the series, had an average of around just 120. Has certainly busted out here, has had 3 hits this evening, like I said, 2 hits last night, or rather 1 hit, but seemed like multiple as it was a 3-run home run. So 4 knocks in the series in just 2 games. And that average will surely continue to climb here for Adams as now Benny Clevahea, the right-hander, will step in. First pitch swinging, ground ball to third baseman Johnson, and it eats him up. Gets into left field as it gets past the glove, and the runner on second turns. Going to have to hold up there as Cardinale will play that one in. Able to hustle to it as Adams stays at second base, but nonetheless an E5 there for Jack Johnson. Kind of a hard ground ball there to the hot corner, and not to say it was a gimme, tailor-made double play. But Adams, surely if he had that ball, I think was thinking probably about going to second, likely before the ball got into his glove. Kind of ate him up. And now a sure sacrifice situation here as Elijah Collins will step in. He'll finally show bunt, now pulls it back, and a slash play, ground ball to the third baseman, incoming Johnson. He'll have it fire a strike on the first base in time. So able to get, 1 out. But nonetheless, Elijah Collins also able to get the job done. Effectively a sacrifice situation, so I guess you could call that a slashifice or slashcrifice as Elijah Collins is able to put Clevahea on second base and Adams on third as now the leadoff man Jack Stronach will step in. He's first pitch swinging as well and grounds this one right past the man on deck, Daniel Lopez, in foul territory, 0-1. So far, he is 1 for 3, an RBI single, as well as a walk and a run scored. Into a double play back in the third, as the Grey Wolves have brought the infield in, all the way around, first base, all the way to third, as well as the middle infield, as this slider now too far outside here, 1-1. Stronach scored as part of the 3-run rally in the 7th. He was the first one to come across the plate. As now he takes a fastball, and that catches the black on the outside part of the plate here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. As Zach Robinson has continued to battle. It appears there's a lefty over there in the bullpen. That looks like Trevor Huddleston, a member of the bullpen that came along with Robinson. As this one now grounded over to the right side, out of play, foul down the first base line. Count stands pat at 1 ball and 2 strikes. In fact, the reason I can recognize Huddleston is the fact that his hat sort of falls off to the side every time he throws, similar to Cason Cunningham as they have similar deliveries. Nonetheless, 2-2 on the way. Swung on and missed to change up. Pulled the string there, did Robinson. And just his second strikeout of the season comes at a huge time with runners on second and third. And now 2 away with a chance to get out of this inning unscathed as Daniel Lopez represents the last chance possibly here for Kitsap in the top of the 8th. However, definitely going to be a tough out as he is 2 for 4. Had a couple of base knocks last night as well. And now takes a fastball just off the plate there outside. Klinke can't quite get the frame there, and that's 1-0. A single and a double here for Lopez. Also a run scored. It's kind of funny. He started off the first 2 games of the series with base knocks in the early innings. However, has sort of flipped the script here tonight as he takes strike 1 over the inside part of the plate. Flipped the script in the sense that he's 0 for 2 in his first 2 at-bats and then gets 2 base knocks in his last 2. So either way, has found himself with plenty of hits so far in this series. Actually, scratch what I said earlier. 2 hits in the first game, 3 in the second, as well as a run scored and 2 RBIs as he now takes a fastball too far low here. Also a bit in. That's going to be ball 2. So Lopez, the second baseman. His middle infield mate, Luke Stamfeld, the shortstop, awaits on deck. Although Stamfeld is 0 for 4, don't even want him to come to the plate. Now Lopez, ground ball to the third baseman, Johnson. Comes in, charges, grabs it, fires to first base in time. A nice aggressive play there by Jack Johnson. And after making an error earlier in that inning, able to make up for it with a couple of putouts to help Robinson and the Gray Wolves get out of the jam. So that'll take us to the home half of the 8th. With Ryan Smith, Drew Curtis, and Ben Klinke coming to the plate when we return here on Gresham Gray Wolves Live. I'm Evan Giddings, and the Gray Wolves trail 8-6.
It's a howling good time down at the Lucky Pint, where we have 30 rotating taps, happy hour all day on Sundays, fishbowl Fridays, or just come down and fill up a growler. The Lucky Pint is at home of Gresham Gray Wolves, where we honor service members with a 20% discount every Monday. Check us out on Facebook to see our latest cocktails and craft beer list, and then come in and see for yourself what all the excitement is all about. Located at 1888 Northwest Fairview Parkway in Gresham, your locally owned place for craft beer and cocktails in Gresham.
If you are looking for an award-winning institution of higher education that is touching lives in many ways, look no further than Mount Hood Community College. For 50 years, MHCC has been an economic engine that brings hundreds of millions of dollars into our community, while also providing great educational services to area residents. No matter what you're interested in, MHCC has a place for you. To learn more, visit our website at mhcc.edu. Mount Hood Community College, transforming lives, building communities.
It's time to gear up. Visit the Gray Wolves team store during your next visit to Osland Field. Hats, hoodies, and shirts in different styles, colors, and logos to show your support of Gresham's team. We have a huge selection of Gray Wolves gear available online as well. Just visit GreshamGrayWolves.com to pick up your favorite gear and wear it to the next Gray Wolves game at Osland Field. That's the team store at GreshamGrayWolves.com. Gear up!
And so now Ryan Smith, the right-handed DH, or serving as a designated hitter tonight for Gresham, will step in against Jacob Ossa. First pitch on the way here. Fastball up and tight, called for ball 1. Now Smith so far 0 for 2, although does have a walk. Scored a run back in the second inning. Second run of the ball game for Gresham as he now takes another fastball up around the letters, called for ball 2. Also a stolen base here for Smith. That represents his 10th of the season. Now currently trailing Jeff Mitchell Jr. as he sends a deep fly ball down the left field line. It's going to be foul, I believe, as Collins now camped under it and is able to make the catch. Just a couple of feet away there from the scoreboard as there's kind of a chained off area that protects the scoreboard down the left field line. I thought I had a chance to get over that fence, although still in foul territory. Nonetheless, Collins able to get over there with his nice speed covering ground and make the catch for the first out of the Gray Wolves' 8th. And so now Drew Curtis, who currently is 0 for 3. Him along with Perrin, the only members of the Gray Wolves offense not to reach base, as he takes a big swing and fouls this one back directly off the screen here, 0-1. And so Ossa, a guy that is not even on the roster here for the Kitsap Blue Jackets, an extremely new addition for for the back end, and considering with the amount of relievers that they've had to use throughout this season, this curveball can't quite catch the edge here on the outside part of the plate, 1-1. If you go up their point streak statistics, especially amongst their pitchers, you'll see plenty of guys with 15 to 20 appearances, and now a ground ball over to the left side, fielded by the third baseman Stronach. He'll square up, fire across the diamond in time, and quickly there's 2 away here for the Gresham Grey Wolves. In fact, if I go to that pitching page, Howell obviously not there, as well as Jacob Asa. But just looking through this team, with a team ERA of 4.10, we got a couple of guys. We got Joe Angus with 18 appearances. Jordan Knoll, who started last night's game. That was his 20th appearance, just his first start. Is now Clanky, first pitch swinging, ground ball to the first baseman. Powles gathers it. He'll take a couple of steps on top of the bag, and that will do it for the Grey Wolves here in the bottom of the 8th. So they'll only have one more chance. But first things first, they'll have to hold the lead here in the top of the 9th inning. It'll be 3-4-5, the heart of the order for the Blue Jackets when we return here. Luke Stanfield, Joey Galeno, and Martin Powles on the tail end of this break here on Gresham Grey Wolves Baseball Live, and Kitsap has the lead, 8-6.
Try to double play with your Gresham Grey Wolves by becoming a marketing partner. If you or someone you know would like more information on how to become a marketing partner, contact the Grey Wolves at 503-428-5248. Again, that's 503-428-5248. Your partnership with the Grey Wolves will be a howl of a good time.
Pack the park at Osland Field. The Grey Wolves are hosting the Bend Elks from Friday, August 5th through Sunday, August 7th. Fans can get $5 general admission tickets or $7 reserved seats all series long for the last West Coast League regular season series of the year. Just send an email to jerry@greshamgraywolves.com to receive your Pack the Park voucher to bring to the Osland Field gate. For more details, visit greshamgraywolves.com.
Follow your Gresham Grey Wolves on social media. The Grey Wolves are active on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Gresham G Wolves. Follow your favorite West Coast League baseball team at home, on the road, and in the community. Behind-the-scenes access, photos from the ballpark, video recaps, and more, all at your fingertips. That's at Gresham G Wolves on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
And so now is Zach Robinson just about done with his warm-up pitches. He'll be facing Luke Stanfield, the shortstop, coming to the plate for Kitsap. They hold an 8-6 lead here as we enter the 9th inning of the rubber match here at Osland Field. And surely if the Grey Wolves would be unable to pull this one out, things are looking gloomy right now. But we've seen a lot of games where Gresham has had some late inning antics. And certainly no stranger to the situation that they will face here come the top and now bottom of the 9th inning. So nonetheless, they trail 2. Would be a tough loss, especially a series loss to a team like Kitsap that has kind of underachieved this year so far, just 5-14. Is now Stanfield, first pitch swinging, ground ball up the middle, fielded by the shortstop Doherty on the front hand, on to first base in time, and there's one away. So now 0 for 5 is Stanfield. He's really struggled tonight, as that will now give way to the designated hitter here, Joey Galeno. So far has only reached base once, though 0 for 2 with a sacrifice fly and a walk. An RBI and a run scored, as it appears we're going to have a pitching change here. I believe Trevor Huddleston, the left-hander, going to be coming into the ballgame, as that will mark the end for Zach Robinson, and definitely want to give it up for him as he's able to go 4+ innings here in this ballgame out of the pen, only allowing 3 runs. And so we'll turn it over after the end of this quick break here on Gresham Grey Wolves Live. We're going to come back to you in just about 90 seconds here after a pitching change. Trevor Huddleston in the game, Zach Robinson out, 8-6 when we return.
Bum, ba-da-dum, da-da-dum. You are in a quest full of danger and excitement. Your path clouded by deception and dead ends that could cost you dearly. You have to fight off dangerous snakes and vicious jackals, savage headhunters and shark-infested waters. You don't know who to trust. And all you want is to buy a new car. I'm Bess Wills at Gresham Ford, and getting the car or truck you need doesn't have to be a dangerous adventure of epic proportions. At Gresham Ford, you won't find any snakes, weasels, or other predators, and you don't have to worry if you are going to get pillaged. All dealers pay the same for the cars they sell. We just help you get the new or used vehicle you need without all the drama. If you want an adventure full of shady characters, crooked deals, and nasty vermin, go to the movies. If you want to get the best built cars and trucks in America, come to Gresham Ford. We'll all donate $100 to the church or charity of your choice with every vehicle you purchase at Gresham Ford. Bum ba dum bum bum bum.
Finding the right dentist for your young children can be challenging. At Gresham Pediatric Dentistry, we understand the importance of helping your child feel comfortable in the dental chair. Since 2007, Dr. Jiyoung Lee has helped many young patients in the Gresham area, and she can help your child too. Request your appointment today at GreshamPediatricDentistry.com.
And so now the left-hander Trevor Huddleston onto the bump to try and record a couple outs here. One away here in the top of the ninth inning. No one aboard for the Kitsap Blue Jackets, as it'll be a lefty-on-lefty matchup. Joey Galeno, the designated hitter, coming to the plate. And so that'll mark the end of the night for Zach Robinson, going 4 2/3, 4 hits surrendered, 3 runs, all of them earned, all of them coming in the 7th inning. As apart from that, began his outing going 7 up, 7 down from the end of the 4th to the beginning of the 6th. So through that 6th inning is the first pitch now on the way. Roped to the right side, skips off the lip, going to get into right field. Mitchell Jr. will play that tough ground ball back in as Galeno has himself a first pitch single here from the hand of Trevor Huddleston. And Huddleston actually only making his 2nd appearance this season, as it appears that there's another Gray Wolf pitcher down there in the bullpen warming up. Could possibly be seen here in this 9th inning. Looks like, in fact, Will Matheson. We've seen him a couple of times early in the season, and I mean very early, as in the first couple of weeks now, as Martin Powles will step in. So now we'll see Huddleston in the stretch. The first pitch on the way to him, and a big breaking ball checked his swing, but yes, he did go around, says Tim Gerkman. So it's 0-1 here to Powles, who's currently 2 for 4 on the night. A double, single, couple of runs scored, as well as a run batted in. As after going 0 for 8 in the first 2 games, has certainly broken out here as he sends a deep fly ball out to right center field, giving chase as Adams as well as Mitchell Jr., and that's going to be off the wall. One hops the ivy. Adams has trouble getting it in. They're going to try and send Galeno all the way from first base. The throw coming in, not cut off. Clanky has it. He'll go to third base. Tag applied, and it is not in time. An RBI double here from Martin Powles, and that will extend the lead now 9-6. Here in the top of the 9th inning, Joey Galeno scores all the way from first base, and sort of a hulky guy, but still able to move. And like I mentioned, Adams had trouble with it out in center field, getting the ball back in. That allowed that extra 90 feet, and maybe just a couple of seconds, a couple of split seconds, being the difference. Now another lefty will step in here. Justin Bundy takes the first pitch, fastball high here, 1-0. The Gray Wolves are forced to draw the infield in. And unfortunately, their hopes for a late inning rally being halted a little bit here, being suppressed, if you will, by Bundy now as he swings and misses here 1-1. All those insurance runs so important. We saw last night Gresham unable to muster just 1 run in the bottom of the 9th, and now we'll have to put together at least 3, as the 4th one represented on third base. Fly ball into shallow left field, incoming Adams. They're going to test him. Powell's the throw, and now a bluff is the throw. A strong one from Adams all the way to home plate. Surely would have had Powell's out as he retreated back to third base, and a smart move there. And so I forgot to mention Powell's, who doubled, ended up getting to third base on the throw that came in from the shortstop Doherty. So Bundy is retired on the F8. Now 2 away here for Taylor Adams. So they've already scored 1. And Kitsap, honestly, throughout this series, hasn't done much of scoring unless it's come in a high volume. So the frequency hasn't been too often, but the volume has been high. So hopefully Huddleston will be able to just keep it to 1. As Adams fires a fastball, or takes a fastball, I should say, here, up and out, 1-0. Now, along with Lopez, He was 2 for 5. It was 3 for 5 last night. Adams has been on fire here against Gresham as he now taps this one off the board to the right side here, 1-1. 3/4 of the cycle. And if you combine last night, it has hit for the cycle in these last 2 games. Had a home run last night, 3-run variety. Has a double in his first at-bat, tripled in his second at-bat in the 4th inning. 2 RBIs off that swing, and a single in the 8th. As he now takes a fastball too far outside here, 2-1 to Adams. Certainly something that the Gresham pitching staff and I think the overall roster did not foresee. Trevor Adams being the MVP not only of the rubber match here tonight, but quite possibly delivering the biggest blow there last night as he now swings through a fastball. A challenge pitch there from Huddleston. The count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 9-6. Surely an offensive duel. It looked like Brett Ganaway was going to be able to coast through at least 5 innings, but ran into trouble in the 4th, allowing 5 runs and was pulled. As now the 2-2 on the way. Soft line drive. One hops the second baseman, Perrin. He'll gather right onto the chest of Curtis at first base, and that will do it here in the top of the 9th. So the Grey Wolves got some work to do. They're down 3 heading into the home half of the 9th inning. Last chance to dance here for Curtis Perrin, Dylan Doherty, and Jack Johnson. Will we return here on Gresham Grey Wolves Baseball Live. It's Kitsap 9 and Gresham 6.
It's a howlin' good time down at the Lucky Pint, where we have 30 rotating taps, happy hour all day on Sundays, fishbowl Fridays, or just come down and fill up a growler. The Lucky Pint is at home of Gresham Grey Wolves, where we honor service members with a 20% discount every Monday. Check us out on Facebook to see our latest cocktails and craft beer list, and then come in and see for yourself what all the excitement is all about. Located at 1888 Northwest Fairview Parkway in Gresham, your locally owned place for craft beer and cocktails in Gresham.
If you are looking for an award-winning institution of higher education that is touching lives in many ways, look no further than Mount Hood Community College. For 50 years, MHCC has been an economic engine that brings hundreds of millions of dollars into our community, while also providing great educational services to area residents. No matter what you're interested in, MHCC has a place for you. To learn more, visit our website at mhcc.edu. Mount Hood Community College, transforming lives, building communities.
It's time to gear up. Visit the Grey Wolves team store during your next visit to Osland Field. Hats, hoodies, and shirts in different styles, colors, and logos to show your support of Gresham's team. We have a huge selection of Grey Wolves gear available online as well. Just visit GreshamGreyWolves.com to pick up your favorite gear and wear it to the next Grey Wolves game at Osland Field. That's the team store at GreshamGreyWolves.com. Gear up!
And so Jacob Asa, the right-hander, on the bump, trying to record a multiple inning save here against the Gresham Grey Wolves. The first batter he will face will be a pinch hitter in the form of the left-handed batter, Connor Zickafoos. So he'll step in, currently on the season, 25 for 80, a .312 average, and 8 RBIs, has been one of the hottest hitters in the second half for Gresham, and has really supplanted the third base position. However, now a pinch hit at bat as he laces one, but right to the shortstop. Making the catch is Luke Stamfield, and so 1 pitch, 1 out here. You can't help but wonder if Zickafoos should have taken a pitch, having not seen Asa, but also can't be too mad about the result. Hit it right on the button, but in the way that the Gresham Grey Wolves, at least in these last couple innings, have been finding gloves at the wrong times, that's the 3rd line out in as many innings for Gresham, and there's 1 out here in the bottom of the 9th. And so now Dylan Doherty will come in. Looked like he was going to pull the trigger right there, but understanding the situation, took it for a strike on the inside corner here, 0-1. So Doherty, his 5th at-bat here tonight, swing and a miss, or fouled off to the, got a piece of that one, as now it's 0-2. Couple of singles, pair of base knocks. He's also scored 2 runs, also with a walk. So Doherty has done a very good job after kind of struggling through the first games of this series. Now slaps this one off to the left side, past the third base coach Barkis over there. Count remains 0-2. Probably not going to see too many other pinch hit at-bats right here as Asa, now on the windup, has his sign. High leg kicks and fires. Fastball chopped over again identically down that third baseline and out of fair territory here. Count remains. So Asa, we've seen him predominantly in the stretch as he allowed a leadoff batter in the last inning, and now bends a curveball too high here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. However, in the windup, when he comes set, keeps that glove high above the right shoulder. Also a tall leg kick now as this curveball belted down the right field line into foul territory, going Bundy, and he will make the catch right on the chalk line. A nice play there from Justin Bundy to rob Dylan Doherty possibly of extra bases. And just like that, 2 balls that possibly could have gone for base knocks for Gresham, and just like that, 2 outs instead here in the bottom of the 9th inning. So representing the last chance, and certainly an uphill battle here for Jack Johnson as he'll come to the plate. Down 9-6, a 3-run advantage held by the Kitsap Blue Jackets. His first pitch on the way from Mesa. Curveball right there at the knee is 0-1. Johnson's 2 for 3, pair of doubles, as well as a couple of runs scored. Has reached 3 times as he was hit by a pitch in his last at-bat, and now down to his last strike as he takes a fastball on the outside corner, 0-2. So the Grey Wolves on the verge of dropping 2 out of 3 here to the Kitsap Blue Jackets. We'll see if Johnson can extend it. Ground ball, shortstop, backhanded right there by Stanfield. He'll square it up, throw up the line, and the tag applied by Powell's, and that's the ball game. A nice defensive connection there between the shortstop and the first baseman, and that'll do it. 1, 2, 3. The Grey Wolves go down in the 8th and the 9th inning, unable to muster even a base runner against the man out of the bullpen in Jacob Asa. So that'll do it all here at Osland Field as the Kitsap Blue Jackets not only get the W here tonight, 9-6, but a series victory, 2-3, over the Gresham Grey Wolves, who are hoping to get back into the South Division first place position. The Yakima Valley Pippins currently now hold a full game lead over the Grey Wolves, who have now fallen twice here in the last 3 days to the Kitsap Blue Jackets. So unfortunately for that, they're going to have a little bit of work to do. A couple of series down the stretch. Looking ahead, they'll hit the road against the Bend Elks of the next 3 days. After that, they'll be down to Corvallis to play the Knights, the first half champs of the South Division of the WCL, before coming back here on August 5th. And that'll be the last game. So August 3rd, 4th, and 5th for the last games of the season here at home against the Bend Elks. Now looking around the rest of the league, Walla Walla fell to Victoria over at Royal Athletic Park 3-2 earlier today. In fact, had a 1:05 p.m. start time. Interesting there. However, nonetheless, they lose. And Kelowna Falcons have defeated the Wenatchee Apple Sox 3-1 over in Kelowna. At Story Field, the Bellingham Bells defeat the Black Bears by an identical score to the previous one, 3-1. And also the Corvallis Knights get a 3-1 victory over the Bend Elks. So apart from the 9-6 win here over Gresham by the Blue Jackets, there's been plenty of low scores here tonight around the WCL. Now looking into the standings here, Gresham officially falls a full game back. They're 11-7 now in the second half. Yakima Valley currently at 12-6, 6-4 in their last 10, and Gresham will fall to 4-6. Cowlitz currently trailing the Grey Wolves as they lost tonight, so they'll stay at 4 games officially, or 3 games back. Corvallis going to move up a half a game, so they're up to 3. They're going to be tied with Cowlitz. However, nonetheless, as we look ahead, hopefully Gresham will be able to get back in the win column as they hit the road. 6-game road series. The Bend Elks currently 8-13, and after falling tonight at 8-14, behind that they'll face the Corvallis Knights currently at 9-10. So a couple of sub-500 teams